Mr. George?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show.
What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube?
Hey, what's up? Yes, we are live inside the Playhouse, and this is going to be so good. I'm excited, and it just got started.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm about to start asking for a co-host credit. This like the third.
Hey,
this like my third time on
really
Beyonka's
is.
Playhouse.
Y'all know how I like the smooth women. Like, you know, I just got to act like I'm just going to keep on inviting, and then eventually, like, listen, can you stay?
How smooth?
Yes.
See, I ain't even know.
You
I
really are.
just be saying shit.
You know what?
Like I don't even be.
That's
like,
what makes it so good. Like, it makes it so good when you see that a man is being effortless. Like, he's not trying to smooth me over. You know what I mean?
And then I tried.
And then you try.
It's burn.
Once you start
go
trying,
back to like just the winging it.
right. You got wing, because once you start trying, then it's like, okay, see, now you're being phony.
Right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you might be wondering why. Okay, we have this super explicit picture above us, right? The man and the woman. Y'all know this is my favorite picture. And because our topic of the month, not just of the night, but the topic of the month is what a king looks for in a queen, I feel like the picture is even more so worthy of being on the wall.
We only get a month.
I mean, you know, we'll do this again.
We gotta get this. We gotta get our point across. We only got 1 month.
1 month. Y'all got 1 month.
And then the next 3 months is going what a queen wants in a king. That's gonna be a 6-month series.
You know what? You better stop playing.
No, it's gonna take like 6 months.
It ain't gonna take no 6
the baseline
months
for the conversation. Y'all know how y'all do.
It takes me, listen, if y'all listen, then it'll only take us 30 days. Because we're going to listen for the next 30 days. Ladies, if you're watching right now, go ahead and shoot them hearts up. We're going to listen for the 30 days that I give these men to tell us what it is that they want, right? Right? Throw them hearts up. They're going up. Don't worry. They're going up. Because we're going to listen. So we just asked that in the month of July, when we flip the script, and it's what a queen wants in a king, then we're hoping that you listen. You gonna listen? You promise?
I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna listen.
You gonna share it and you gonna listen?
I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna be involved in this process.
I'm so happy you are. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm gonna encourage my homeboys to do the same thing.
Yes.
And spread the love amongst their homeboys.
Right.
We're gonna try to see if we can bring some togetherness around here. I'm
let's
with that.
Working on the building together. This is what we want to do. We're going to work on this together. Okay. Because together we can make it work, right? We can get our plan across, right?
We just got to get together.
We already together. We're bringing you together with us on Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show. But you know the most awesome part of this process, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm like uber excited about is that at the end of each month, at the end of our 4 weeks of listening to the man, listening to the woman, we're going to be live with a live studio audience. You will be able to come, buy tickets, and sit in the studio audience and ask questions to all the men who you see before you on this show. So if they say something that you like, I can't wait to talk. Come to Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show live at the end of the month, and you can talk to them live in the studio. I mean, not in the studio, of course, but you know we're going to be. It's 2 locations right now that I'm really trying to decide on. But I'm telling you, both of them are really dope locations. You get to get a nice little. Yes, it was awesome.
I was feeling the last place.
I'm so in love with the last place.
They drilled my ass. They drilled me on the last one. They came with some tough questions.
We did.
Damn.
We did. It was really good though because you were really raw. My boo. Shout out to Jade. She was there. She was raw. She really, you know, I think that's why people love y'all so much because y'all were natural. It was really y'all. Y'all didn't put on no facade. Y'all was in front, and you know.
I mean, you know, it's easy when it's real. I mean,
it is.
It definitely is when you ain't gotta force nothing.
Absolutely.
So I guess you know.
So. The other picture that I have here, ladies and gentlemen, is of my grandparents. My grandparents, this is their wedding photo, and I have this here before you for hope for all of us. For anybody who's single right now in hopes of getting married and learning a thing or two about, you know, tonight's show and just everything, you know, when it comes to relationships, what a king looks for in his queen, what a queen looks for in her king, all that good stuff. You know, hopefully our common goal is to be able to have longevity in our marriage. and come together as one. And these two beautiful people right here, who, if it were not for them, it would be no me. They have been married for 62 years. Lord, 62 years.
That's who need to be on this show.
Right.
We need to hear, like, they don't need to hear from me. We all need to hear from these two right here.
Right.
What did you do?
Right.
How did you do it?
Right.
Like, man,
I was
you bring them on the show, I'm going to be in the front row.
Right.
With a notepad.
And you know, I'm going to visit them next weekend, God willing. And one of my favorite things about visiting my grandparents is just seeing, oh my goodness, are those all the comments already? Oh, thanks, y'all.
Yo, this nigga really watching from Africa?
So,
hey, yo, that's serious.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is serious. You're watching us from Africa. Oh, share us in Africa. Hit the share button in Africa. Yes, invite your friends.
I used to live in Kenya, so like, I'm trying, like, what part of Africa you in, though? Like, yeah, I'm trying to,
somewhere with an S.
Huh?
Somewhere with an S.
Somewhere with an S?
He's somewhere, Senegal. Is that a real country? I feel like that was on a TV show. Yep, Senegal.
You can't.
Live from Senegal.
Wow.
Yo, Jamie, share this.
You better go ahead with your damn show, because I can't.
Yo, watching live from Senegal.
Yes, thank you.
Jamie,
oh my gosh.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name.
Share us.
Jamie is watching, and he's live from Senegal. So,
oh my God. So, Jamie, you can tell us, in Africa, in Senegal, tell us what kings look for in their queens there. Gentlemen, you have the floor as well. When you're watching us live, you can comment. Even if you're watching via YouTube, you can comment. Tell us what it is that a king looks for in his queen. But before we go any further, let me just ask all of you ladies and gentlemen that are watching to please share the live. Hit the share button. And when you hit that share button, it's all these magical friends that pop up that you can just invite to the show. You know, pop.
Invite them all.
Invite them all. Or you can share this to a group. You know, sharing is caring. You know, so legs. So you ready to get this thing started, boy?
Oh, you know I'm ready.
You
ready?
ready.
I'm 80% ready.
You 80% ready?
I'm 80% ready. If it hadn't been raining so hard, I'd be 100% ready. Because then I'd have my little drink right here. And
I know. We don't be sipping on water right now. And that just makes us
high quality H2O tonight.
Right,
so
right.
You're going to catch this in all its rawness.
Oh my gosh, that's why it's going to be so much better. I mean, it's going to be not so much better, but it's going to be so good when we do this live, like, and have a studio audience. Because wherever I do it live, we're going to definitely have a bar.
Yo said he's sharing it now.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Sharing is caring. I love you already.
I seen a couple. Shout out to my friends who watching from my friends list. I seen a couple people on there.
And hitting that like button, that love button, those hearts. You know that means a lot. But yeah, thank you to all Georgia's friends. All right, we're trying to read some comments too as we. I see Jay watching. Hey, boo. Jay, go ahead. Tell me what you're looking for in the queen, boo.
There's Betty on. Hey, there's Betty. How you doing? Right. My school nurse.
That's your school nurse.
Yeah,
yes, Betty. Go ahead. Get your pen and paper out because I know we need to know what these kings are looking for. So one of the reasons I decided to call it what a king looks for in a queen as opposed to just what a man wants in a woman or what a man looks for in a woman, all that kind of stuff, is because I think that when you're actually ready to be in a relationship and you're actually ready for the longevity of a relationship, then you are no longer just looking for just a woman. You're looking for a woman who knows her worth. You're looking for a woman who knows that she belongs up on a pedestal, that she is royalty. You're looking for a woman that kind of know. I don't know, some of these men are looking for, some of these kings are probably looking for some women that just don't know their worth so that they can run all over them.
Concubines.
Some concubines, right? Some men are looking for some women that are just like, oh my God, I'm not pretty. Oh my God, I just meet anybody.
That's not even cute. Nobody looking for that. Ain't nobody looking for that.
They are.
Nobody. I promise you nobody checking for that.
No, but not a king. Not a king. Okay, to me, just the average guy that's just like, okay,
I don't even think the average guy checking for that, to be honest. Like, that's not even fun to be around.
It's not. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it then. Okay. So let's talk about, because that was my first thing, the vulnerability of a woman. You know, I know a lot of women when you're over the age of 30, we talk about this a lot, dating over 30. When you're over the age of 30, or let's just say over the age of 25, you've pretty much been through something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you had a relationship or something, right. Whether you have had a bad intimacy situation where you fell for a person and you were in lust, and it just didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or if you were in love with someone and it just didn't turn out. If you're dating and you're over the age of 25 or 30 and you've been through something, then it kind of makes, and it's different, I think, for a woman and a man. For a woman, I'll speak on a woman and you can speak on a man, but for a woman, once you've gone through something, you're no longer just open to, oh my God, he looks good, and oh my God, she's nice, and I'm attracted to him, and you're looking differently at a man. You're looking at, okay, is this gonna go somewhere? I'm, immediately looking at you and, oh, okay, he's cute, he got freckles, okay, he's cute, but what is it that he can bring to the table? Is he just gonna come to the table with the same BS that the last person did? It's in our minds. That's just what it is. Okay. So for a man, what is a man dating over 30 or over 25? What are they looking?
I mean, I think we have, I think in life we all have the exact same experiences, and then it's how we process them. So you're describing disappointment, loss, having love and loss. And to be a man over 30, we've gone through all of that. I think that it looks different, and sometimes people take it as it's like majorly different just because I think men and women naturally process things a little bit differently. Yeah. But I can say that I think for a lot of guys, like, that hesitation, that apprehension is still there. Like, if you've gone through a couple of relationships and it didn't work out, for a man, we're looking at it the same way. Like, is this gonna work out? Like,
really?
Is she gonna switch it up on me? I mean, I think women get it confused.
I am surprised.
I think women get it confused because women, y'all like to lump in the categories a lot. So, like, and what I mean by that is, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and all I mean by that is that, you in a relationship with a guy, y'all put in a couple months, it don't work out, and your conclusion from this whole thing is like, oh, he wasn't really serious, he wasn't really about this life, right? And then, like, that's y'all standard now for every guy. He ain't really about this life. But for men who are actually out here and, like, I mean, there's some men out here that don't want to be settled down. They don't want to be tied to one woman. And, like, first of all, we need to stop vilifying people like that.
That's true.
And I think that's the first thing. We need to stop looking at people who are comfortable being single, who are comfortable, playing, comfortable dating, and we need to stop vilifying those people. That's the first thing I feel like we need to do, is stop treating those people like they're doing something wrong.
That's true.
Like, they're living their lives and they are enjoying themselves, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. Now, hopefully they're doing it for positive and, uplifting reasons. Some people might be doing it just strictly out of fear. I don't want to tie my heart to somebody. But I'm going to assume that most people who do it because that's what they want to do. That's how they living right now. That's how they want to proceed. Okay? But you can't just lump everybody into that category just because you done came across a couple people who, might have been unsure about what they want.
I feel like for women, I know that we do categorize immediately. Immediately, it's like, I'm 34, so I'm speaking for women, who are over that age of 30, definitely, and when you've gone through things, and it's the type of guy, what, ladies, that I just noticed, not only do we categorize, but we continue to choose the man in that same, in the same everything, the same makeup. Because you like what you like. Right. And you can't, as a man, I do the same shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll be like, yo, this shit don't work out with these light skins, but then I keep moving for these light skins. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. We do the same thing. Like, you like what you like. Yeah. You just gotta find what you like that matches well with you. And that's where it gets tricky. Right. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you a hypocrite. Like, I'm not gonna run off and start dating, like,
a whole different shade strictly because I've had a couple with this shade that don't work out. That's just dumb.
Yeah, that is.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just as dumb
that is.
as the guy who's like fuck black women because he done had a couple bad relationships. I'm only dating Becky's, and we know what the real issue is that they gotta bash black women while they dating Becky's. It's like, come on, bro, like keep your hurt to yourself. Go see a therapist, work it out. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to go out here bashing. Like all you gotta do is find what works for you.
Right.
And it's not supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be. Let me tell you something. We all been brainwashed by Disney and the fairy tale. All of us, we've all been brainwashed. It's not just women. Y'all took it to the extreme. But we do like that whole knight in shining armor. Like I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna be the man and that's it. Like we be wanting that too, and then we find out that Rapunzel. Then we find out Cinderella got some shit with her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, whoa, hold up, and then we gotta start rethinking some things. You know what I'm saying? But
so, do you think that instead of picking Cinderella, maybe you should have picked? Oh my God, y'all, what is Shrek's wife name?
Fiona.
Fiona's.
Ooh. Damn.
I'm just asking because you picking princesses because this is how women, at least for me, I just made a whole live about this not too long ago, and
what's
I was
the
like,
difference between Cinderella and Fiona? Because when Fiona got done up, she was looking kind of good. Like, dang, you got some ass up under there, girl. Put your little makeup on. And Cinderella was like, she was in rags and all that stuff. And then she went to the ball. She needed a whole fairy godmother to get her right. And then she popped up at the ball, but it didn't last. It didn't last. She had to get out of there by midnight. Or they was going to see her for what she really was.
True.
See, the fairy tales be having lessons inside of them.
We didn't even look at those
and
lessons.
We don't even, everything's so surface these days. Don't nobody want to go deeper.
Yes,
don't nobody want to go deeper.
We weren't looking at any of that, ladies.
That's real vulnerability right there. When you start to go deeper, and not to tear nobody down, but like let's just deconstruct it and call it what it is. Mm-hmm. Cinderella had to get help. And then she went to the ball, the prince fell in love, but she had to get the fuck out of there real quick. Because at midnight, he was going to see her for the little, you know what I'm saying, maid that she was. And she didn't want him to see her like that.
Right.
But that's who she was.
But then he accepted her. So even with that, like even after all of that, once he knew who she was and he saw her for who she was,
that's all we look at.
He accepted her like that.
We just looking for somebody who's going to accept us.
But it's still that other little hidden agenda. I mean, that other little hidden point. The fact that she had to dress herself up to be noticed.
But did she? She just assumed she did. She wanted to go to the ball. Who's to say the prince wouldn't have fell in love with her if she came in the ball with her regular clothes on?
Y'all see my face? She would not. He would not.
But he accepted. Okay, so like, hold on. So if I see you for the first time in a t-shirt and sweatpants, you saying that there's no possible way that I could be interested? Because fellas, we've all heard this. How many times you got? Oh no, I can't FaceTime you. I'm not done.
No, it's.
Then girls actually be bashing us low key. Not really bashing us. But I see a lot of posts about girls who like, why you trying to holler at me? I'm in Walmart, nigga trying to holler at me. I ain't got nothing on.
Okay, I don't see those posts.
I see them posts all the time. I see those posts. I see those type of posts all the time, and I'm sitting there really scratching my head like, so you was in Walmart looking like you just got finished with your 2 kids, and nigga trying to holler, and your response is, get out my face, I don't look right now.
I've never seen that post, and let me tell you, it's crazy that he's saying that.
Hey fellas, can I get a fist emoji if you see that?
There is no fist emoji. Oh, you mean an emoji?
There is. There's a Black Power fist emoji.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you got an iPhone, I don't know what you Android
But what's crazy is I was in the Walmart just the other day, and I really was looking like Lord knows. Oh my! I just finished with the kids. I was sweaty. I was trying to hurry up and get my kids clothes, and this guy was trying to talk to me with my kids, and my first reaction was, like, why would you even be trying to talk to me and I look a hot mess? I wouldn't have made a post about it, but let me tell y'all something. The reason I went ahead and had a conversation with him, because I ended up having a conversation with him, is because I was like, wow, now if he really is going to accept me and want me, desire me, looking like this, it could be one of two things, ladies, and I'm being real. Either he just saw all this for dunk, you know what I'm saying? Because no matter how I look, this booty is what it is.
Don't really matter what you got on.
Look, he just be quiet, zip it.
That ass ain't going nowhere.
Right. Or, you know, maybe he really is just interested, like, and maybe he does see, you know, beneath all the sweat, the beauty. Like, maybe he saw something that he really was interested in, you know, and we had a nice little conversation. So I was like, wow, it really shocked me, because my first thing was like, why would you be trying to talk to me and I look like this?
Because you're an attractive woman.
Yeah,
I assume, like for the people who find me attractive, you know, it's not that often, but when it happens, you know what I'm saying?
In my face.
Like, I don't feel like my, you know, if you find me attractive, I don't feel like my attractiveness goes away if I'm not, like, in my shirt and tie, or if I'm not done up.
No, it's different for a woman. It's different for a woman. Especially
Maybe y'all make it different.
Because our hair, like the other day, y'all, I tell you, my hair was in one of them little flip things.
Son, I was on the phone with her, yo, and she had got locked out the house.
It was that day. That's crazy.
That day. She had got locked out the house, and all she worried about, she not really worried about trying to get in. She not worried about nothing. All she worried about is her neighbors. My neighbors gonna see me like this. She worried about random ass people driving down the street because she woke up, rolled out of bed, and drove her daughter to school.
No, not that day.
Oh, that's the day I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
And I'm sitting there like, why are you worried about random people who just happen to be driving by your house? Like 90% of the people probably never even looked to the left as they was driving by. But she was really like, oh my God, they gonna see me on my way and look at the hot man. I was like, man,
I really was like, oh my God, please. And then I swear, wasn't the cars rolling down the street? They was
the
like,
cars was rolling down the street. She swore everybody was looking at her.
They were. You know, it's when you really look a hot mess that people are rolling down the street. Oh my God, can you read those comments? Because that's why she put it up there. Because I can't.
I can read the comments.
You can't? Okay.
Naila, what's up, girl? Well, maybe she had a bad experience where a man made her feel insecure.
True story. True story. And you know what? Even though we know...
It's not an excuse. Why
you
always want to be leaning on your past experiences and then try to use it as a crutch?
It's not.
I've had bad experiences where women have made me feel insecure. I got up and brushed my shoulder.
You're a man.
So?
Men do not have the same emotional feelings and
well, we just have, maybe we just manage them better. Like, why y'all always,
you think that you manage them better?
Maybe we manage them better.
Negative. It's not that you manage them better.
Oh, shit. It's might be, okay.
You're going to make me cut you with my tongue.
You want to debate.
Y'all want me to get him? Y'all want me to get him? Y'all want me to get him?
Yeah.
Because here he go with men. Do men and women, first and foremost, do you believe that men and women both have the same emotions? That's first. Because I don't believe that at all. We definitely are.
How can you not? There's only like a limited range of emotions. It's not like any of them are specific to men or women. There's happy, there's sad, there's insecure, there's, you know, the whole plethora of emotions. Let's say there's 50 of them. But the 50 aren't gender specific. Like, everybody experiences them. Okay, name one emotion that women go through that men don't. Name one.
An emotion, this is an emotion that we show. A shown emotion is sad. When we're sad, everybody can see that we're sad. When a man's sad, he can sit there with that same cold face, like nothing's wrong. He will not break down as quick as a woman. That's a fact.
Okay, I will present an alternative. If you're a woman, so I'm never going to tell you what the woman experience is.
Okay.
So if you're telling me that by and large, when women are in a certain type of mood, say sadness, and everybody can see it. So everybody in the house see it. You go to work, everybody at work is like, what's wrong? Okay. I would just say that, and this is why I say that maybe it's a management issue so much as like the prospect of us being devoid of emotion. So when I'm upset, when I'm sad, everybody don't know. The people closest to me immediately know. So everybody don't know. But if I go hang out with my homeboys, my closest friends, they will immediately know. if I'm in a relationship or women that I've had, like, that I've known for quite some time, like my little sister, if I'm not in a good mood, my little sister knows immediately. No matter how well I'm managing that sadness, my sister will know. My mother, she will know. She'll take one look at me and she knows that something's not right. My closest friends. So the only difference is I could probably go to work and nobody notice. But I don't have that type of relationship with the people at work. So maybe it is a management issue in the sense that I know how to manage that sadness to the point that it's not written all over my face for the entire world to see. But the people closest to me, they absolutely know immediately.
Dang, ladies, I swear, as much as I want to lay him out, I really feel like he might be right about this particular thing because only this, ladies, and I'm not siding with him. I'm not, but. No, I'm not. But it definitely makes a little bit like 2.6% of this percentage. It only makes that much. It makes a little bit. Those odds. It makes a little bit of sense because that
Shelby Lauren Nelson Alfred fact. Shada Henny. I agree with what he's saying.
Okay, these are women. So I don't feel bad now because I didn't want women to think I was like letting the women down. But
see,
what you said
we
really
can't make this a competition.
I know, but
we can't get to this. Listen, I promise you, we can't get to this if we constantly compete with each other.
Dang, that's fat. Look, that's why he here, y'all.
And I'm gonna tell you some real shit.
That's why he here, y'all.
I don't know about y'all, but that'd be what's wrong in my relationships. It'd be a lot of competition. Not enough building. Not enough building.
Okay, on who's right and who's wrong.
A lot of competition.
A lot of that. Okay. And I can see that.
And sometimes it's just different. Because it's not that I don't get sad, but I manage my emotions very differently from a woman.
But I believe, and not just you, now I can see and understand how a man would manage his emotions different, period. Like, you know, for women, one of the things that makes us the maddest, especially when it comes to our communication with the man, is we want to see that he hears us and feels what we're saying. We need to see a reaction. We need to see something. At least that's me, ladies. I need to see something. So if I'm talking to him and I'm telling you like all of that, let's just say we're having a relationship issue. Let's just say we had an argument yesterday and today, you know, we're sitting down, we're talking about it. And I'm just sitting here like plenty, like really hurt me. Like it really, you know, affected me. I couldn't work today. Like I just couldn't get it off my mind. And you come in the house like, well, I had a really good day at work today. We like, wait, so you had a good day at work? And now we're upset because you managed your emotions better than we did.
But then you have to understand. Then you have to take accountability for the reason why you're upset. You're not upset because you don't think I don't care. You're upset really because I manage my emotions differently.
That's what I'm saying. I realize that in
because
this moment,
I'm not taking what happens between me and you and our home out into the world.
And I am.
You are.
I am.
That's not my fault.
It is because it just has to be for some reason. But no, I get it now. Like I really get that. Like that's one of my biggest issues. Is like
Shelby's on to something.
What did Shelby say? Cause Shelby, I can't see.
So boy, hey, these are my friends, by the way. And let me tell you something about my female friends. Like my collection of female friends. Like my tribe of female friends are some of the most eclectic and opinionated women on the planet. So could you, hey producer, could you scroll up a little bit on the comments real quick? Because one of my favorite women.
Yes, I was.
Her name is Asia Maxton. We about to get down. I just saw her name pop up. I don't know what she said, but I know it's about to be. It's about to be real, and it's probably about to be.
Oh, I see right there.
Okay, Asia says, in my opinion, men have been conditioned to only be allowed to feel one emotion, anger. We are traditionally allowed to feel the whole spectrum, contrarily. So I won't fully disagree. Where I disagree is the conditioning part. I don't think that we've been conditioned. I don't think we've been conditioned. I think that we've conditioned ourselves. And it's just a difference in management. It's just a difference in management. It's how we manage the emotions. And we have conditioned ourselves to manage emotions very differently. And she's claiming that we don't show it. And I'm saying that we do show it. It's just not on our sleeve. Okay, go ahead.
Are you choosing which emotion you want to manage? Because oh my God, that just okay. She just hit me here with that. Because you choose to not show us your sadness, and you're not gonna break down and cry.
But we don't not show y'all our sadness. You are.
Yes, you do.
How often have you how many times has a man that you were involved with been sad and you not know?
I mean,
we talk about sadness here.
Yeah,
let's clarify.
That's why I said break down.
Are we talking about sadness, or are we talking about disagreements in relationships?
No, I'm talking.
We talking about just general sadness.
I'm talking about
like
general,
a parent died, or
no.
What kind of sadness? Right. Let's clarify.
Sadness.
Relationship sadness.
Relationship sadness.
Oh.
Not
so
no.
Like
because this we're talking about relationship here. So we're talking about the man and the woman, like them in their relationship. So that's why I gave the scenario. The scenario of being.
So do we pick and choose our emotions?
Because
or which ones we're going to display.
Exactly, because
if you do, let's look at the next comment.
Yes, let's look at this next comment.
Can you scroll down to the next comment? I want to see the comment with Shelby. There it is. No, not that one. Keep going down.
What does Jay say? What did Jay say right there?
Hold on, let's get down here and then we'll come back up.
All I can see is your names.
We're going to go back there. All right, right there.
Where?
Let's be real though. When a man gets emotional, in quotations, some of us get turned off because he isn't being a man. And and just in the form of transparency, I have been in situations where where I was upset or sad about something, and I brought that to somebody's attention, and they told me, "Stop being a little bitch. You acting like a woman. Man up."
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I don't agree. I mean,
90% of us are raised by single mothers.
Okay, that's true.
When your son cry, what do you do?
When my son cry?
Because I've seen a lot of mothers say, "Stop crying."
I don't know if this is bad or not. But
you better stop that crying. You a man.
Hell no.
Stop crying. I'm not saying you do that.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I don't think.
You know this is done.
Yeah. Now I think this is the difference, right? Because I have a 20-year-old son and I have a 6-year-old son. When my 6-year-old son is whining, not crying, but whining, and I'm like, what's the matter? And he's going through this stage right now where he just wants to be with me. And so he's just like, "Mommy, I'm like, Cameron, you're a boy. Boys cannot whine like that. Like, you want to say something, I need you to say it with your voice. Like, talk to me." So that's the only time I'll ever tell my child that it's not okay to whine. Right. If he's crying, I'm going to hold him. My 20-year-old son recently looked like... Okay, sorry, son. But he looked like... I would say he wasn't crying right, but I thought... He told me he had allergies. He said it was his allergies. But immediately, I was like, "Son, what's the matter?" And I immediately went to embrace him. And this has been all of his life. And I feel like, moms should do that. And I agree 1,000% that might be where the breakdown is when it comes to men showing their emotions. Because I've been around women whose sons cry and they will punch them in the chest. They will hit them, to get them to man up. I've seen a mother one day make her 7-year-old son, do 100 push-ups because he wouldn't stop crying because he wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I was like devastated for him. So I can understand that there's a breakdown there where men may feel like once they get of age, like, okay, I'm not about to be crying anymore. Like my mama told me not to be crying, I'm not about to be crying.
Right.
I understand that.
And I mean, is there we just need to get on an even keel. Is there some truth to that? I think there is. I think as a man, I think it's very difficult for me to solve problems and overcome obstacles if I'm busy crying and being overly sad.
And I'm not saying that I'm looking for a man to completely break down like me.
I think some of y'all I think y'all just want to see us curled up on the couch somewhere like, "Baby, I'm sorry, I don't know why I did it."
You know what? Every man I've ever been in a relationship with has fallen to his knees and broke down and cried at the end of the relationship. And I'm like, if you had cried a couple of months ago and been down there, then I would pick you up.
But if that's all you want is a man who's going to show you emotion, why would you leave him at the point that he did that?
When he finally showed me the emotion? Because that was entirely too late. Like, I know that's bad, right? And this is why I'm saying,
No winning for us, fellas. We're on an uphill battle from birth. From birth until death, we must fight up the hill. The hill gets steeper and steeper.
Look,
but we continue to fight. That's what
you make me feel bad. Shut up. I'm not saying, and listen, for those watching, I didn't think that he was less of a man because he broke down and cried and fell on his knees and, you know, did all of that. I didn't think he was less of a man.
But
I didn't leave him because he fell on the floor crying.
But you're like,
it was just over. It was over. You know, like, don't
but you said, so hold on. But you did say, you preempted this by saying several men have broken down.
Yeah, I did.
How many is several? Like 4 or 5?
Okay.
6?
You know, let's be honest. I'll be honest. Honestly,
yeah.
5 men.
5 men?
Yeah.
You left 5 men
on
their knees, crying their hearts out, spilling all that emotion. Them niggas is never gonna love again.
Yes, they are. They are.
Probably never gonna trust a woman again.
They are.
That's all y'all say y'all want. Just be honest. Just be open. Just be in touch with your emotion. And you left 5 Negroes.
I know.
Dead in the dirt. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself.
No, I shouldn't. It was over.
I'm gonna start a radio show. We gonna call it Fixing a
Listen, fix. I know. I was thinking about calling Yana, but she can't fix it. Like, no, really, seriously, it was really like at the end of everything. Like, I mean, I don't have, it's no shame in my game. I've been in 5 long relationships, and it's the other thing. Like, my first relationship was 5 years. The second one was 7 years, and then after that, it was 2 years, 2 years, 2 years.
That's 5 dudes.
Like, yeah, and I mean, they just
okay. So like, I mean, realistically, you're like, okay, the first time 7 years, that's a long time. Second time 5 years, that's a long time. Okay, 2 years, the first time.
I know.
Don't you think around the 4th or 5th nigga, you'd have been like, okay, I'm gonna give you 1 more year.
The 5th one, I was gonna give 1 more year, but then I was just like, I don't know. I need to fix myself so that I can get past the 2 years. I do. God. It's me. I know it's me. God. So listen, I'm not one of those.
That's the other reason why it's so hard as a man to date at 30. Everybody fixing themselves. All of a sudden, women hit 30 and it's like, I gotta fix myself.
You irky. You irky. That's because
no, but that's real though.
Yo, been in a lot of
30-year-old black women, it's like a whole team of chicks just fixing themselves. I'm like, damn, girl, it took you 30 years to figure out something was wrong.
Yeah.
And now they all like, oh, I'm just doing
it didn't take 30 years because clearly they wasn't dating for 30 years. He always got the extra. No, but you know what? For me, I think for women over 30, I'm gonna vouch for women over 30 again, and I'm gonna say this: women over 30, I believe it's like they get to that point in their life where they realize, like, okay, I've had so many failed relationships. Now I need to stop blaming him because I was one of those women that blamed him. Everything was like, oh, it's something wrong with him. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. Like, oh, you know, why am I... Look at baby. Oh, y'all, we just got... That's baby. That's baby, y'all. He was trying to make a debut. But it was always something wrong with him or something that he did. And I had so many blame, you know, so many reasons why the relationship didn't work that didn't include me doing something wrong. So at 30, I think we mature to a level where we understand that it is not just him, that it's something wrong with us as well. I mean, ladies and gentlemen,
you the first one I heard say it. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, they be like, I'm fixing myself. No, but they ain't never been like, oh, I ain't never. I'm gonna shake your hand for that. Cause you the first woman, honestly, that I feel like just came out and admitted. Okay, at 30, I realized that maybe it wasn't all them.
It wasn't. It's no way in the world I've been in 5 relationships, long relationships, that just didn't work out because it was something wrong with all 5 of them. Like, clearly. Like, there had to be something wrong with me. And
that's
because
such a double standard. Women be going through like 7 different relationships, and the consensus is she just happened to come across 7 ain't shit niggas. And then men who go through relationships, they be like, well, you must be the problem.
No, not at all.
No, but that's perception-wise. That's how I go.
Well, I used to be, and I think in my 20s, I would probably have been saying that.
Good
but
brother
now,
Jay just came with the heat, though.
Absolutely not. Okay.
The good brother Jay said we deal with emotions rationally, and women deal with them emotionally. I'm gonna step off camera and I'm gonna let you handle that. Good brother Jay, like I would love to back you up, bro. Nah, I'm gonna stick around for that.
Okay. That's why the emotion is different. Because you cannot change. I can't get emotional right now and say, okay, let me just not emotionally deal. It's an emotion. Especially,
well, hold on. He's not saying that we don't deal with emotions. He's saying that we deal with emotions rationally.
And we don't.
And women deal with them emotionally.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
A little bit. Dag it a little bit because I just thought about your meaning. So, maybe because rationally,
I just said that we process emotions differently.
Yeah, but maybe rationally, you know, no, you know what? I'm taking that back too. Because if all men dealt with emotions rationally, then they wouldn't be picking up a gun and killing somebody because this man slept with his girl, or they wouldn't be, you know, beating women down to a pulp because she cheated. So it's no way. And then women will deal with a man who has cheated on her, had about 10 kids on her, ain't took care of her, done did a whole lot of things. A woman will deal with him no matter how much he's hurting her. She'll still deal with him. But a man, the moment that woman stepped out and he even think that she with another man, emotionally he's so broken inside that he can't even look at her no more.
But is it really emotionally broken inside, or is it just pride and ego?
Both.
I'm gonna lean towards the pride and ego side. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If you're a man and you've been with a woman and you've been treating her like dirt, okay, and you know you've been treating her like dirt, and then she move on, and now you want to get mad, and now you want to and get territorial. That's just pride and ego.
That is. No, that's.
How many times has that happened? And I want to make that point because I really feel sorry for women who take stuff like that as, oh, he really cares. He really does care. No, he don't. If he really cared, like, he would have treated you right. You wouldn't have never been thinking about running off to another dude.
Right.
So the fact that he's mad now, it's not because he really loved you. It's pride and ego. That hurts our pride.
That's true.
Okay. Another nigga hitting that, oh hell no, I'm gonna fuck that nigga. Like, that's pride. That's not love.
And so you don't go back because of your pride and ego?
Sometimes.
Because just today.
You mean like, what do you mean? Like when we mess up a relationship, we won't go back because of pride and ego?
No, when a woman cheats. If a woman cheats.
Okay.
And you know you've been cheating too, or you've been doing some things too, but you find out that she's cheating.
Right.
And y'all talking and trying to work the relationship out, but men 9 times out of 10 just absolutely are not going back. Is that because of his pride and ego?
Probably. I can't speak on that from experience because to my knowledge, I've never been cheated on. To my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
To my knowledge.
Okay, but if you had, you can't really speak on it because you don't know those emotions.
I don't know those emotions. I do know what I've observed because I mean, like, it happens a lot. So I do know what I've observed, and from my observation, I would say that in that situation that you just detailed, yes, that's a pride and ego thing. That's a I can't deal with the fact that she did to me what I've been doing to her, and I'm not gonna go back now because that's gonna make me look weak. You know.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I think that's pride and ego. I think that I've seen situations where I know that the man really does care for this woman, even though he ain't been behaving as upstandingly as possible.
Right.
But will write her off immediately, and that's a pride and ego thing. It's like, you know, like once that's happened, it's like, you know, you're no longer worth my, you know, whatever.
Okay,
I will concede that from what I've observed.
From what you observed.
From what I
Have you ever been in a relationship with a woman that you suspected was cheating?
Suspected. No.
Okay. He's like, I got every T crossed and every I dotted.
No.
I'm messing.
No, it's not even that. It's just that first of all, I hadn't had a whole lot of girlfriends, like real relationships.
Okay.
And the ones that I've been in, like, they just, I don't know. I don't want to say they didn't strike me as the type because I think everybody can hit that. I've done it before.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm that type at all.
Okay.
Like I did it once. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so I don't feel like it's just one of those things that never really crossed my mind. I don't know how people get to that point, but I've never been in a relationship where I was just like, something ain't right, she cheating.
Okay.
You know, I've been in relationships where I'm like, something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It could be this, it could be that.
Yeah.
I've never had any sufficient reason to suspect that somebody I was involved with was like dipping out behind my back.
Wow.
So
okay.
either I pick wisely or I'm just really dumb on picking up. Oh, I could have, maybe I dated some really slick ass women.
I was waiting for that, y'all.
Because I know some,
like
I've been on the other side of that coin as a single man. I have done some things that I prayed for forgiveness for with women that I knew were in relationships, and I seen some slick ass shit. So if I found out like right now that a couple of the girls that I've been in relationships with were cheating on me, I wouldn't even be surprised. Because I really wouldn't even be surprised because I know just how slick shit be.
Okay. So yeah, you better pray for forgiveness so it don't happen. That karma don't come back and bite that ass. So let's get into the topic at hand because we don't.
Everybody else do.
You don't believe in karma?
I don't know if I believe in it the way that everybody else thinks of it.
So how do you believe in it?
I'm not even sure. I'm just not. I don't think it's as simple as this. Oh, you did something wrong, and now something wrong is going to happen to you. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's that simple. I'm not saying that I don't believe in karma. I think that it's a little bit more intricate than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like too much good and bad happens to everybody for it just to be.
Yeah, you know that you can do it.
And then we know that all of us, I think, at one point or another, comes across those like really, really salt of the earth people who do no wrong, who don't do people wrong, who don't deal in shadiness, who don't underhand people, and bad shit still happens to them.
Right.
Like everybody, I think, knows at least one person who, in their mind, is like a saint. You know what I'm saying? Like that you pretty much know is like. This is as good as it gets as far as people are concerned. Like Jesus never did anything to anybody, and look what they did to him. You know what I'm saying? What karma caused that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, that's a tricky analogy because he was sent here for that. You know what I'm saying? But you see what I'm saying? Like there are people out here who like literally are just genuinely deep down good people. Not like I'm a good person because I do this and that, but sometimes I falter. There are people out here who really are just like the salt of the earth. And, bad fucked up shit still happening.
Because you use that analogy, I'm going to just use this analogy in that same one. So just like Jesus did that, he was crucified and look what happened to him. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people can say like, well, dang, he did all of this good and then look what happened to him. But because he did all of that good, he still got a seat next to God. He still got to go to heaven. He still was rewarded because he did good.
He went through.
So exactly. So I would feel the same way about life and us being people. If we do good and we live a life that's good, bad things are definitely going to happen because we have lessons that we have to learn and we have to earn things. Mm-hmm. However, it still, I think, comes back around. Like that good comes back. So if you. Just recently.
And I believe that what you put out into the universe it ultimately comes back.
There you
but
go. That's
I don't think anybody is ever going to be free of disappointment and heartache and
of course not.
Bad situations,
right.
all that. It can't all be karma.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that I don't believe karma exists.
Okay.
Because when you throw that type of negativity out into the universe, eventually that shit gonna swing right back around on you. I do believe that, but I don't believe in this idea that I made this horrible mistake one time. I did something really horrible, and now for the rest of my life I gotta live in the fear that that's gonna happen to me.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna get right into the topic real quick.
Uh-oh. Look at this. How long we been on the air? We ain't even got to look. She got a whole note card here.
I do, y'all. I got Beyonka's little note card on here. So
with her little question, we ain't even got to
yes,
that. Do you want to go? Before we get to this, do you want to go through some of these comments?
Yeah, please, because I don't want y'all to think
just
we're
to
ignoring
see
y'all
what
because
people
we're
saying.
not.
Can we go up on the comments?
Yes.
Producer.
The producer just left the building.
Just left. After all the comments. Mama Cookie.
Oh wait, go back down.
Go back.
What Mama Cookie say?
When let's see. Okay, so Shelby says, how can two people get to 60, 70 years of marriage if we cannot accept a man who is 100% in touch with his emotions? That's an interesting concept. Mama Cookie said, when decency and respect for ourselves and acting like a queen, maybe these kings will find you and make you a queen. Old school works, start being chased and not do the chasing. Woman, wake up.
Okay.
So that's that good.
And Cookie King, who
female empowerment
is my mama, you know, she's been married for 39 years, so I would have to say that her old school practice definitely must work. I definitely learned that.
People out here listening to single people.
Right.
For relationship advice.
You know, I swear.
Women, yo, you be in a relationship, fellas, and your girl got a whole army. She got a whole tribunal of single homegirls. Right. And they are all telling her how to respond and react in your relationship. And not one of them got a man.
What she should do and shouldn't do. And then if she does talk about her relationship, they're so, girl, I wouldn't take that. Oh, I wouldn't deal with that. Oh, I wouldn't do that. I think that's a huge mistake that we make as women as well. Mm-hmm. You can have a conversation with somebody that you don't even know personally, but has longevity and is in a relationship and can really give you some good advice because they're not looking to break you down. Mm-hmm. They're not looking to make sure you don't have,
and they're not looking to see you single.
Right, and they're not
that's
looking
the
to
biggest.
see you
that's
single.
The biggest difference. And as a man, I can honestly say there's a difference. I have friends who were single, and like I take my problems, my relationship problems, get some advice from them, and it always came down to my nigga, you be alright, if you was, we hit the club, nigga, really? Like, you not understand that I like this girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Right.
So, I'm lucky. I'm actually blessed in the sense that I've got two really, really close friends who are married. You know what I'm saying? And very, very early stages of marriage, but, with women that they had been in relationships with for a while. Okay. So, like, that's who I go to for advice. Absolutely. And then I've got two other homeboys that have been in long-term relationships for, like, 5 + 6 years. Now I got 4 close friends who are married. So it's like, that's who I go to for relationship advice now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think to call my single friends. Because I know these niggas ain't going to steer me in the right direction.
And I'm hoping that women have gotten out of that calling their single friends, and talking to their single friends about what they're going through in their relationship. Even talking to your friends, period. Y'all, I've been through a lot, but my first marriage, the imam, which is a priest, who gave the sermon and married us.
Okay.
The one thing that he said that still sticks in my mind to this day that I didn't listen to was, when you go through something with your husband, you're going through that with him. So don't take it to your mom. Don't take it to your dad. Don't take it to your girlfriends. Right. Don't take that to them. That's something that you're going through with your husband. So you need to fix that and deal with that. Your answers, everything is right here between your husband, not everybody else in the room. Because once you make it everybody else's problem in the room and in the family, then no matter when y'all go home and fix it, they still have the problem because they didn't fix it with him. They didn't fix it with you. And, that's something that I didn't listen to. And I think it's hard sometimes for people,
It's hard to sit in that solidarity. Because that literally means it's like me and my girl having problems. I can't talk to nobody about it.
Right.
Except her.
Right.
But the funny thing is, the imam told you, and the pastor usually says the same thing in Christian weddings. Like, what goes on between y'all is between y'all. Y'all are one now.
Yes.
You don't don't talk to nobody else about what's going on here.
Right.
And that may be something that all of us are doing wrong. Maybe it's wrong for me to even call my married homeboys and giving them the skinny on what's going on in my relationship.
I mean, I think in the relationship before marriage, I think it's okay because you're looking to be married. You know, they are where you want to be. So you have to. Oh yeah, true. You do have to practice. Right, you're right. You should.
I read something the other day. Marriage ain't this magic word where all of a sudden things just click into place.
Right.
Marriages work because you've been practicing, and then you make that commitment, but the practice is already there. So now you just ready for the championship game.
You're right. So maybe asking your married friends for advice. But not asking your married friends for advice. There's something like, we're going through this right now. Like, this is what's happening right now. So instead of going to your married friends and being like, listen, she ain't cooked today, she ain't cooked last week, what the fuck should I do? Like, that's not their business that she not in the house cooking, because then they going to go to their wife and be like, you know she ain't cooked for this nigga in 2 weeks.
And you know who else people need to stay away from?
Who?
Let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest. That work husband, work wife shit.
Oh, I'm so glad that didn't happen in my era.
You need to stay away from that shit. It started as a game, but that shit ain't no game.
It's not. I don't see how people are secure with going home. I mean, going to work and leaving their husband or wife, or y'all going separate ways, and you saying, "Oh, that's my thing."
What?
Was you about to take it apart?
No.
Oh, and they say like, babe, you know my work husband, I've heard the conversation like, babe, you know my work husband said this or he said that. I don't think that's cute. I think that's like, it has to make a person feel insecure, at least a little bit, like, okay, well, what's really going on?
All I'm going to say is I got a work wife right now, but that's because I'm single. The minute I get in a relationship, me and my work wife are divorced.
Absolutely.
I'm not even going down that road. It's a messy road right there, boy.
You're creating drama in the beginning. So he keep on trying to avoid it, and we keep passing all of these questions. But how can
all right, and so Alexis De Silva, in my opinion, some of us deal with the emotional part as well as the rationality, and not only that we think of how it's going to affect things in the long run. And for those reasons, it's more emotional for us because we think of the whole roundabout situation and not what's best for all involved. Us females, not all but some. Okay, so she's saying that I'm really not sure. I can't even lie.
You confused?
It's a very long run-on sentence. Can we go to the next comment? Producers? We're just going to get through these comments and then I'm going to let you get to your secret questions. She got these secret questions. I'm so nervous about these secret questions, yo. I'm so nervous. No,
you should be nervous.
I'm so nervous. If you bring her up, I'm gonna kill you.
That's not what's gonna happen.
What's wrong with being 30 and still wanting to grow? Not a thing. I don't. And if you think that, that's what I was implying, I really wasn't. Hold on. Asia. Rationally, the difference between a man who punches you in the face when he gets angry and a man who sits and talks to you about his anger. Rationally.
They allow, I think, and I'm going to get off this emotion thing, right? But I feel like the anger comes because they've allowed their emotions, their sadness to bottle up so long inside that they get mad and get angry, and then it's like, bam, you know?
So then Kia Collins Lucas says, that's not true. It has, I'm guessing she says there's a lot of irrational men out here. And that's why I wouldn't use the terms emotional and rational when it comes to like how we display emotion. I'll just say that we manage them differently, and I'll just leave it at that. Because I don't think it's all about rationality, because she's right. There's some irrational men and some irrational women out here. And like so that can't be the standard, rational versus emotional, like when you're talking about the difference in how men and women process the same emotion. Because if you're an irrational person, then you're gonna process that irrationally across the board.
Absolutely.
Whether you're a man or a woman. Yeah. So I don't think that we can break it down into simple terms like rationality and emotional and just like that, because that's what do you call it? That's real cliche at this point. Oh, women are so emotional, men are so rational, but that's not the truth. There are plenty of rational women out here who be angry and shit and really be holding it and You know what I'm saying? And finding some productive way to, you know, without ending up in jail. So, and then we got dudes out here that will fly off the handle, you know, like bust your car. Like dudes are busting car windows and stuff like that now. Like
Cut up the furniture.
Cutting up furniture and all that. And there's nothing rational about that. So, yeah, I agree.
Just saying.
All right, so let's keep going up.
Go ahead.
What's up?
When I'm inviting these chicks to
Oh, okay.
y'all got these?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got those. But we gotta be. They really did. Like, yo, they arguing. Oh, Anise is not. Am I saying that right? I'm sorry, sweetheart, if I'm mispronouncing your name. Anise Brown. Y'all don't have emotions. Who don't have emotions? Men don't have emotions. Is she? Oh, she's burnt.
Oh, that's bad.
She's been burnt.
Cut it out.
No, that's a comment.
Observing.
If she's saying that men don't have emotions, that's a woman who's been scorned. And I apologize on behalf of all men for whoever did you wrong. Whoa, we gonna way down. No,
yeah,
the new ones are at the top.
Oh, the new ones are at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
so
my bad. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying scroll up.
My bad, producer.
The latest ones are at the top.
I'm messing with your stuff.
So,
what a man was cool. Oh, that's him.
Some men may like the fatty type. So Mama Cookie said, what a man looks for when looking for a queen. Can you give not just what you look for, but maybe others too? For example, some men may like the fatty type. I know a couple brothers like the fatty type.
That's too funny though. Yeah, right.
What's up, Perry? Perry the Man Price. Maybe not to actually take advice, but to at least talk to. Okay, so like we're missing the comments.
That's what you were saying.
Can you put it all the way at the top so we can see when they come in?
Yeah,
and then we'll try to get to them.
Yes.
Like it's hard to keep up with the comments because we done talked about so many things. No, all the way to the top.
Yeah, and then when it comes,
all right, so now we can see.
All right, so.
All right, y'all.
We here. We here. You ready?
Hold up.
We here.
I'm in the hot seat. We in the shelter, goddammit.
Get your pen and pencils out, ladies, because we are here. We are at the moment when we talk about, when we get to find out from, well, this is the second gentleman I've had on my show in June, and we go into this topic of what it is that a king looks for in a queen. And so, even though that's the topic, you know, that has so many underlines underneath that, like that, you know, we can go into, but we just want to start with that alone. So, Mr. George, we need to know from you, us ladies, look, I got my little, y'all got your pen and pad. What is it that a king looks for in a queen?
It's a tough question.
It is. We need to know because we're trying to figure it out.
Honestly, I think we're looking for the one woman who makes us realize that we could be better and motivates us to do that. No matter what position we are in life, whether we are living in our mother's basement and really struggling with life, or we own 3 houses and 2 cars and got a great job and career. I think we're always chasing or looking for that one woman that makes us realize that no matter what position we are in, we could be better. And that she makes us want to do that.
Okay, so I'll ask the next question.
Okay.
That falls underneath what you just said. As a woman who has done that, because you know, there are a lot of women that are very supportive of a man that may be catching the bus, a man who, you know, may not have it all. You know, I think that image that's put out there on TV of a woman that, you know, especially nowadays, loving hip hop, a woman that's just like, oh, you gotta be able to take care of me and pay all of my bills. That may be 2018, you know, young girls, but women, grown women, I think understand and respect that a man is not going to be at 100%, right? However, it's that journey of being supportive and loving to a man who may be living in his mother's basement, who may be struggling, and that process that you go through together with that man to help him, motivate him, encourage him, and to get to where it is that, not even where he wants to be, because that's a long journey, but to at least help him to get on his feet. You know, once you get there, and I know you can't answer the question for all men, but you just represent men right now, so maybe you can help us to understand. If we're being supportive, and it's okay, babe, you know what, you didn't get the job today, it's okay, babe, I got us. You can't pay the bill at the restaurant, it's okay, babe, let me take my wallet out, I got us. You know, we can do that. But once we've done that, and then you get on your feet, and now you've moved out of your mother's basement and you're in your own apartment. You're no longer catching the bus, you're driving your own car. You no longer need me to pay the bill, you can pay the bill. But you choose to pay your half of the bill and not the whole bill. You know, what gets a man to that point to where when he's with a woman and she has been supportive and she is accepting of him being, you know, where he is in life, and she's giving her that motivation. I mean, she's giving him that motivation and that encouragement. What takes him from saying, okay, you know what, this is definitely my queen, to being a man, being that man that's like, okay, no, I'm on my feet now, I don't need her anymore, or I'm sick of her, or let me move on to the next woman, or let me go ahead and be with my work wife, or, you know, why does he no longer see her as his queen? Because if he continued to see her as his queen, then I don't think that he would step out or leave her, because he know, if you got a queen, you know you're going to keep that queen. But it's when that man gets on his feet that he no longer needs, or seems like he understands that she's still his queen. Even though he's here with her, she's still his queen. So can you help me and help all the ladies out there understand where that breakdown comes in? And gentlemen, you can comment too.
So, all right, I'm going to address this in stages, starting with the worst, so we can just get that out the way. If you're in a situation where you find a man who you commit to, he commits to you, you're in a better place than him, and you motivate him, and you are doing, you know, all of the things that, you know, traditionally we feel like a woman should do, or a woman or a man in support of their mate. And as soon as that person gets on their feet and they're like, okay, I don't need you anymore, that wasn't a king in the first place. So, and I get that that's hard to accept for some people, but I don't think anybody who has any type of kingly qualities would treat people like that. Period. Not a woman, not a friend, not a confidant, not a parent. I don't think that's a king in the first place. So that's that issue. Okay. The rest of us, the rest of situations like that, I believe it's just that time changes people. People change. And I think that's one of the things that in long-term relationships, I know that's one of the things that a lot of people fear, is because people do change. Like what worked for you 10 years ago doesn't work for you today.
Right.
What worked for me 10 years ago doesn't work for me today. And sometimes in relationships, those two ideas clash. Yeah. And they clash, and I think they potentially can clash in ways that can drive two people apart if they can't find the common ground, or at least get back to the basics of why they got together in the first place. Right. So one is just sometimes things just don't work out the way we would want them to. And sometimes that's not any one person's fault. It's just a byproduct of maturity and time and changing attitudes and positions on certain things. But the one that women seem to be the most focused on, which is, you know, the guy who is basically has used you, and that's not a king.
So I'm glad you said that, because I know that, of course, with my good girlfriends and watching Facebook posts and things like that, that's one one of the things that women battle with a lot is understanding, or trying to understand why. Like, I've been everything, I've done everything, and why. And, I think the worst thing that anyone could do, whether it be a woman or a man that's been used, is to blame themselves as to why he's decided to move on, and not just accept that. One thing that you said that for me I've learned to accept is that things change over time. Sometimes in life, 10 years from now, even though it's taken a person 10 years to climb, their feelings, their emotions, everything just kind of changes, and because time has changed, if you guys aren't changing together, then it's no way that it's going to work, and you're not communicating effectively. It's no way that it's going to work, no matter how much you're supporting that person and like rooting them on, like, yes, babe, go, babe, yes. I'm being funny, but no matter how much you do that, over time, if you're not sincere, if you're not genuine, and you're not actually still doing this thing together, and you've allowed him to just go over there and just, okay, do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, then once he's got to that level, he's like, well, now we've had a breakdown in our relationship, in other areas, because there are other areas of a relationship. Right. So, thank you for that. Thank you. Ladies, give them some hearts, because that was an excellent answer.
So, have you ever watch This Is Us?
No, I've never seen that.
It's a really good show. I would implore anyone. It's just a really good show about people.
Okay.
But it has, and it's kind of this type. It's just one of those type of shows that's really chock full of like really eye-opening moments about the intricacies of relationships. And one of the things that stood out for me about, and really said something to me about the nature of just people changing over time. So one of the main characters in the show, his best friend was letting him know that he and his wife were getting a divorce. Mm-hmm. And the best friend, he couldn't believe it. He's like, what are you doing? He's coming at him like, yo, what is wrong with you? And the guy tells him a story. He's like, since we've been married, since I've known her, I wake up every morning, I make myself a cup of coffee, I make her a cup of coffee, and I take it to bed. I take it to the bedroom for her. And I've been doing that every day for 15, 20 years, however long they had been married. Okay. And he said one morning I woke up, I made my coffee, and I just didn't want to make her.
Wow.
And it's just, he couldn't really explain it beyond that. It's just like the relationship, whatever was going on in the relationship where that was how he started his day, it just wasn't there anymore. It wasn't, and he didn't say I didn't want to make her coffee. What he said was, I woke up one morning and I just didn't feel like making her coffee. Wow. And that was the best explanation. But it said a lot to me about, in that storytelling, I could see what he was really saying was that people, we've changed. She's not the same person. I'm not the same person. Yeah. And I'm admitting that. And that means that,
and I think that's why it's important to continue to have a relationship with the person. Like, just because we're in a relationship doesn't mean that we have a relationship.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you can say, my grandparents, they've been married 62 years. Mm-hmm. And we can say, oh my God, they had a relationship for 62 years. But the fact that they danced at their 45th anniversary and stayed on the floor longer than anybody else, and the fact that they still held hands and he opened the door,
it's a real relationship.
They had a relationship. They were in a relationship together, and and now I see a lot. The breakdown in our age, or our generation, is that people will be together for say, oh yeah, I have a boyfriend, or I have a husband. I have a husband. We have a family. Mm-hmm. But how often do you have conversations with him? How often are you actually spending time with him? How often are you guys eating dinner together? So maintaining the relationship is what's important, because I can pretend all I want. That's pretty much what I think it is. Like, for how long? So.
Mama Cookie asked a question that I had kind of been really. This was the question that I knew was going to stump me. and I thought you were gonna ask it, but she asked. She wanted to know what my definition of a queen was.
Absolutely. That was on my paper, mine. You gotta go, mine. Go, mine.
Oh, okay, so I'll wait for you to ask it then.
Yeah.
She says, then she says, working together, building each other up, recognizing each other's title and respecting it. Communication, knowing when to give and when to take, doing your part to be to the fullest.
Okay.
That sounds about right to me.
It is, absolutely.
The funny thing is, I realize our generation really, we understand that in very abstract concepts, but when it comes to actual, like, practical application, we have no fucking clue what we're doing. We'll talk, like, people will talk, oh, you gotta have good communication, you gotta have communication. Like, people our age, right? We talk about communication all the time, and then it's amazing how many people really don't even know how to communicate.
Oh, they don't know how.
On
Okay,
a practical level. Like, I'm talking about just practical conversation. It's becoming a lost art.
Why did you think that they didn't? But that's probably why they come, because they don't know how.
The funny thing is, Mama Cookie, I was thinking about that question because I preempted that was going to be a question that I was going to have to answer. What did I look for in a queen? And I'm still trying to work it out, the best way to verbalize it in my head. But you know what the first thought that came to my mind, and this was yesterday, I was driving and I was thinking about that question. And I realized that I want a queen who just knows that that's what she is.
Yes.
And I feel like because she knows that, there's no need to advertise it.
Yeah.
Everybody's a queen on Facebook now. Everybody's a queen on Facebook and Instagram. Everybody knows their worth. And I'm just like, at the point that you know these things, there's really no need to advertise it. I'm starting to really feel like that's the number one indication that no, you're not a queen. No, you're not. You don't know your worth.
That's just like a woman saying, or somebody saying, I'm beautiful.
You don't think that you're beautiful.
Exactly.
Because you wouldn't have to tell us every day, or
right.
every 6 days. You wouldn't have to post how awesome you are and
right.
how,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
right.
I'm starting to really, I'm starting to realize that when you're walking in something, like, you don't even have the time to advertise it.
Right.
You really don't, unless it's your business, and it you know, like there are spaces where we need to advertise.
Right.
But who we are, and who we, like, how we see ourselves and how we believe in ourselves, that has nothing to do with nobody else. Like, I don't need to, you know, the same thing for dudes with the king shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's why we had that conversation about whether or not we were going to use the term man or woman, or you were going to use the term king or queen.
Yeah.
And I was kind of leaning towards something other than king or queen, because now we've almost watered down
what a king or queen is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My queen is funny.
Okay.
I like funny girls.
Okay.
I really do. Like, I love a woman who not just can make me laugh, but I have a quirky and very almost British style, dry, sarcastic sense of humor. So
what?
And it's kind of smart humor at times, I think. And like, I'm some people just, hey auntie, hey auntie.
I was saying that for you. I saw that.
I think there's some women. Wait, where was I at?
You're funny. Very funny.
Being funny, and like, it's a quirky kind of, not like, it's an intelligent type of humor sometimes. Like, I'm the person that like I'll throw shade at people and they don't even realize it.
Okay,
sometimes.
and she can catch that. And she can catch that.
And she catches it. Yeah.
Right.
So we have our own little nice inside jokes. I love a woman with a genuinely good heart. Not for show, for anything like that. You know, the type that, you know, like, I met a woman once that for no reason she would just buy stuff and put it in her trunk in a little sandwich bag to give to like the homeless folks.
Oh, okay,
you know
okay.
And she would put a couple dollars down in there too, and she would just pass it through the window.
Oh,
I just thought that was like really cool. You know what I'm saying?
That is.
I thought that was really dope.
That was.
I like women who have genuinely good hearts. I like really confident, strong women.
Okay.
I like a challenge. So I enjoy women who like confidently strong. Like not cocky, not, you know, some women confuse that with like, you know, oh, I ain't gonna let no man tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna let nobody tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's some women that just have this really quiet confidence about them. It's very effortless in these streets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a name. I could like say a name for like each quality, and if I could just find my queen would be the woman that kind of embodies all of those qualities.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for, and it's not like a laundry list of qualities. It's like 4 main ones. Like, are you funny? Are you strong? Are you like solidly confident? And do you have a good heart? Like those are like the 4 main ones.
Those are excellent ones.
And like if I could just find the one that like, and actually I found her, but she be bullshitting. But we not. That's a whole different conversation. Because sometimes the queen's not ready for the king yet. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say that. Oh my God! Like sometimes you gotta just wait for a person to like be not wait.
So sometimes you just gotta
allow a person.
And that's
allow a person
that people in our generation had no concept of patience.
No patience, right?
Sometimes you just gotta chill.
Yes.
Just shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Just lay back and just chill.
Yes.
Let this universe, God situation work itself out.
Yeah, you know what? Because you know what? There's a king out there right now, and I know that you waiting. I know that you're working on you, so you know I'm
already know, like my queen,
I'm chilling.
Like we already know, my queen, she knows exactly where she's supposed to be.
I know that your queen in her own time, like she, you know what in her own time.
Hey, Mama Cookie, don't you play with me like that. Don't you play with me like that. Mama Cookie said, sorry, I'm already married. She got all my qualities.
I cannot take her.
Mama Cookie got all my qualities.
Cookie, stop it. Oh my, she said, tell him, nephew. I see that.
Well, I hear birds of a feather flock together, so send me somebody who's not married. I know you know him.
She not going to send you nobody either because we already know who your queen is and we're not stepping on her toes. We know that in her own time that she is definitely going to come and take her place next to her king. So, she coming. You coming, aren't you, boy? You coming. So, let me get to my little things real quick. Y'all see my little Beyonka card? It was some things I just didn't want to forget to ask y'all. And he kind of answered some of them. So, you know, what is your definition of a queen?
Okay.
And, okay, so what makes a woman completely unattractive to you?
A lack of humility.
Oh my
lack
gosh, that's
of
deep.
I find that incredibly unattractive.
Yes, definitely.
A lack of humility. Inability to admit that you can be wrong.
Oh my gosh, that's like 74.3% of women. We don't like to be wrong, so
that's different.
I
don't think anybody likes to be wrong.
No, we don't.
People who know me well will tell you I don't like to be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anybody likes to be wrong. I mean, nobody wants to walk into a room and he like, hey, I'm incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that anybody practices. But there's a difference between not wanting to be wrong and
just
an inability to admit that you can be sometimes.
Yeah.
And I find that to be an incredibly unattractive quality in a woman.
Okay. So what makes you look at a woman and say, okay, that's a woman that I definitely might take the time to get to know outside of her body and physical appearance?
I have no idea. Like initially? Like that first time?
You know,
I don't know.
I might be fairy tale-ish, right? So maybe this is just a woman thing, but when I see a guy, despite whether or not he is like attraction might be like, oh, okay, but it's in the eyes and
It is in the eyes, and that's when I say I don't know. What I'm really saying is that I really can't put into words like how I describe like my queen.
Yeah.
I really can't describe like a set like I can't put my finger on like the process. Like there's a process of like what I like in a woman. That's I can take 4 tangible qualities and say that's my queen. That's what I'm looking for. But when I initially meet somebody, it has boggled me. Sometimes honestly, sometimes I guess the soul just know. It definitely has something to do with the eyes, though.
And it's like the eyes is what like connects you, like it draws
it definitely has something to do with the eyes.
Okay.
But yeah, I honestly beyond that, I know it has something to do with the eyes, but beyond that, I don't know.
So so you as a man, can you say that you feel that like if you look at a person, if you look at a woman, and immediately you have that feel? Because I know for women, like we get these little butterflies, like we get this little tingly, like oh my gosh, like he just made me feel tingly all over,
yeah,
and he didn't even say anything. So you know, like that.
I ain't get butterflies and no shit. I don't get
butterflies.
Like that. But there is definitely something that happens internally when you just know.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, like, that's the hardest thing to explain, and it becomes incredibly hard because I feel like, like that doesn't happen often.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not rationally out here noticing other attractive women or women with qualities that I do like.
Right.
So then I approach, I go in hunter mode.
Yeah.
But then when I go in hunter mode, a lot of times that's just based off of, it's not the same as just when you have that instant connection with somebody, and that is usually the difference. Because I can honestly say, one of the biggest issues that I've had in relationships with women is nobody can really understand like how I end up in relationships. Because I will have people in my life that I'm kind of like dating or like we're kicking it.
Yeah.
It looks like we're on that way.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll just meet someone and that connection is there and it leaves certain people like, well, what happened to us? And I can never really, it's the hardest thing in the world to do. It almost makes me consider just like being celibate or just not dating at all until I come across someone, but then my lesser manhood is like, nah, nigga,
like,
you gotta...
Wait, what did you just think that you were gonna do?
Right.
Right, okay.
That doesn't really happen. But if I had reached, or when I reached the level of kingdom that I aspire to, I wouldn't even entertain a woman if there wasn't that connection. The weaker part of me is like, the lustful part of me is what keeps me kind of still playing the field with women that I know I don't have that connection with immediately. And that's kind of what makes things a little bit complicated.
Yeah, because I'm curious to know, would you tell a woman that you don't have that connection? Would you be...
I wouldn't volunteer the information, which is selfish as fuck, I know.
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't volunteer the information, but if it came up in conversation, yeah. I am a brutally honest person at times, and I probably say more than I should. And especially if, I have, like, I don't want to say an agenda, but I like we have our goals and objectives in life, and they change depending on who we're dealing with and things like that. And like I said, it one day, I'm going to hit that point in my manhood where it's like I don't feel the need to entertain or go, just kind of like fanning flames that I know I'm not going to allow to turn into no brush fire, you know what I mean? So, but I haven't gotten there yet, because
you will.
I
have faith in you.
I still have my carnal needs that I like to, you know, from time to
Yeah,
time.
so I guess this next one just goes out the window because I'm relaxed.
Okay, go ahead.
If you find your queen and she's not ready for you, would you wait for her? Not just wait for her as to
No.
as waiting by the sideline, but wait for her.
I aspire. Let me tell you something.
Okay, but you just answered that though before.
There's a man down the line that I aspire to be.
And that's all we can hope for.
But honestly, I just ain't no suck ass nigga. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't feel like I would respect myself if I did that.
You know what? The only reason I can just be totally 100% respectful on that because I don't think that while you're waiting, that person, it's not like that person is waiting too. You know? It's
not even that. It's just like, you know, like I think that's some suck ass shit. And I could be, and I probably, and that's just an opinion that I have, and I can't really explain why I have it. But the thought of just kind of like, I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna be lonely, and I'm not gonna entertain nobody, and I'm just gonna wait until you recognize that I'm that nigga.
Yeah, that was wishful.
Something there's like all I think is like all I envision is me with a sign across like just sucker.
Oh my gosh.
Just sucker.
It's not though. It's not though, gentlemen.
But it is. And women who do it always end up feeling like suckers too. Like women who do it.
We do. Okay.
Y'all always and I know this is man like that. That's some sucker ass shit.
But it's like that
because one or two things happen, and this is why I think it's better to just go ahead and live your life. Because if you do that, I think you end up running a risk of something. You get what you want, and you don't feel good about it because. You know, at the end of the day, you feel like you demeaned yourself to get it. And that's how I would feel about myself. I would feel if I waited for her to get wherever she needed to be. I'm waiting. But I'm not just passively sitting around just waiting. I am waiting. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I'm going to do me while I wait.
I mean, we can't do that.
Because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't feel good about myself. The other alternative is that she isn't the one, which is a possibility.
That is a possibility.
That she isn't the one, or that she never comes around.
That is a possibility.
And then how I'm gonna be feeling then, and that's what I see a lot of women go through is that they will wait for that one.
Yes.
And he never comes.
Yes, Lord. Mm.
And it don't leave women in good places at all.
At all.
And as men, I think we know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I ever do that?
Why would I do that to myself?
That's where our rationality comes in. It's like, why would I ever do that? Why would I put myself in that situation?
Okay, you get to be rational in that sense. He gets it in that sense. Only in that sense. So
I just want to make sure that it's genuine. I want someone who's excited, who is as excited about being with me as I am about being with them. And
you said that on.
I said that.
I think that's perfect. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I said that, and I won't accept. And that's my bottom line. I won't accept anything less than that.
You shouldn't though.
And you've seen me in relationships. Like I'm the guy. I hold hands. I PDA, what they call public displays of affection. I plaster my girlfriend on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I make posts about. I am that guy. Yeah. So if you can't match that,
yeah.
I don't want it.
And I mean, speaking from a woman's point of view, I feel like women, we feel the same way. It's like we make.
I keep trying to tell you we all go through the same shit.
So we do.
Y'all want to vilify us so much.
I do. I mean, I don't want to vilify you, but I definitely feel like we see
y'all
things
vilify
differently.
us so much.
We do.
Like y'all take.
Because we be dealing with some brokenness within ourselves that we just don't.
No, we don't
pay attention to.
But that's the thing, like. And I guess that's where the rationality and men come in, because I understand that, yes, women are broken, but so are we as men. Like, we've been through the shit too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't make it to 33 years old without having my heart broken a couple times.
Yeah.
Without having women in my life that majorly disappointed me.
Yeah.
Like, this notion that we kind of just run through life, you know, sticking everything with no emotional attachment whatsoever. Like, it sounds good if you're a woman and you want to put yourself in this, oh, everybody just does me wrong box. But in reality, like, you know, we have our reasons. And a lot of times we're coming from the same type of traumatic experiences that women are coming from.
That's true. I agree. I'm glad you're saying all of this, because I feel you. I'm
glad that you feel.
I do. I'm glad you're saying this though, because I was definitely one of those like, no, okay.
I know. I've been seeing it in your eyes. Like, every time I come on your show,
I do.
There's a couple moments in the show where I know you really, it's like you about to really come for me with the
I
pause.
do be right.
And then I say something, and you like, damn, he right.
It's funny. This is why I know, like, you in this perspective queen are a fit, like, because she will tell you, like, if you watch Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show, you know I cook for the juggler. But this is the one man that, like, really gets, like, he gets me to shut up a little bit, because I'd be like, damn, like, that was really kind of right. Like, you can't fight right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, but you can.
I can.
Motherfuckers be fighting right all.
I don't, you know, if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And even though it's still it's an opinion, sometimes when you, like, look at the logic of things, like, okay, wait, logically, like, that really makes sense. You know, as opposed to trying to fight it and make it not make sense. You know what I mean? Then you're stuck. And nobody wants to be stuck. We want to elevate, you know, and get to here, like you just said.
You got something to say?
Oh, shit.
Shit just got real.
Well,
I mean, if you got something to say, speak.
I think that because his queen is my
you just gonna put the shit
friend,
out there?
That I didn't say who
she right there. She talking.
That's what I'm trying to see, because she's talking. Where's the producer?
Producer, you need it.
Yes, because I can't see
I
nothing.
knew this train was coming.
I was trying to
Never
see.
late. And look, mama cooking. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, y'all. I can't see anything over there. Oh, I see. Oh, that moment she stepped in the building. Hello, the door was open. So
I knew this was coming.
You did? I thought in the beginning, but when I didn't see anything, I said, oh, she didn't come.
So I'm assuming she said something, producer, later.
Yeah, can you come
earlier
back
down the line that we missed while we were in our conversation?
Mm-hmm. Can you come back and scroll?
We both know she don't have the balls pop up, like, you know.
Like you did. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was just too good.
No, it wasn't too good. It could have been a whole lot better, but you read me out.
Okay,
I can't believe you did that.
Is she something else? But let me say, I read the one comment, and let me tell you, I can say, oh wait, go back. Oh yeah, okay. You definitely had the floor. Mama Cookie is laughing at you. I knew she was coming. Right.
Mama Cookie is an instigator.
She is here. She is in the building. So wait, let me ask this funny question real quick. And you know, you can ask anything you want, boo. You know, you can ask anything you want. But does your queen have to have etiquette? Does she have to be a woman who practice etiquette? Like, is it okay for her to belch and
hell yeah! I want a real human being for a wife. I don't want no porcelain doll. I don't want no showpiece. I don't want no trophy. Nah, yo, like, if we've been together more than 6 months and I ain't never heard you fart, I'm looking at you funny now. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, nah, yo, like, those are the things that, like, you have to have those in relationships. Like, yo, like, dude, I be in conversations with some dudes sometimes that I just be like, damn, nigga, you ain't never gonna be married. Just because, like, some of the ridiculous shit. Oh, my girl always got to have her hair done. What? Nigga,
Oh,
what?
wow. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've heard, you know, and it's always it's always superficial shit. It's always superficial shit. It's never, like, nothing with any real substance to it. It's always, like, just really superficial shit. No, of course, I want someone that I can take out in public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't want you to act like we out in public all day, every day.
So you're like totally 100% okay with like under the covers and she just let one out and it's just like, oh, baby.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna fuck right back on her ass. Yeah, like. Look, man, you wanted my honesty. I'm giving you my honesty. I want to.
Oh, yes,
I want a real person. Like, and I don't want somebody who, I don't ever want to put a woman in a position where she feel like she got to put on airs 24/7. Like, I can't even, like, yeah, can you imagine how exhausting that is? Like,
I never ever pass gas around a person I was dating, ever.
Really?
No.
So, like, we all laid up, whatever, like, you just laying in the bed like a regular night, like, not even cuddling, just like you on your phone, he reading a book, the TV's on, ain't nothing going on. What'd you do? Get up and, like, left the room?
Go to the bathroom.
Jesus, that sounds so, like, I live in a 3-bedroom apartment and, like, the bedrooms are upstairs. Like, there's no way I'm getting up out the bed and going downstairs to the bathroom. No.
I mean, you're a boy. You're a guy, so it's different. So, all right.
I feel sorry for y'all. That's crazy.
Do you approach a queen differently than you would approach a woman that you do not consider a queen?
No. There is no woman that I don't consider a queen.
Ah, good answer. That was such a great question.
That's just not my queen.
Okay,
That's the other thing that
okay.
men need to stop fucking doing. We need to stop acting like we got the right to categorize women based on what we might know about them and all that shit.
Right.
If we're gonna treat women like queens, let's just treat them like queens. Now, if you know that, you know, obviously every woman ain't gonna be my queen, but that don't mean she ain't somebody else's queen.
Right.
Don't fuck it up for the next nigga.
Yes.
Like,
I like this.
No, like, that's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like, so what? Like, niggas be like, oh, I ain't gonna treat her with no respect because I know she, like, I know four niggas that she done fucked. So what?
I've heard that conversation. Like, not only that, but like not every woman.
Look, this nigga, he gonna give me. Look, I knew it. He gonna give me the fucking side eye emoji because he.
I can't.
But that's my boy,
okay.
and he's that type of dude.
Not every woman, you know, I've heard them say like not every woman deserves the title of being a queen, or not every woman deserves.
To them,
yeah.
But there's a king out there. There's a king out there for every queen, and vice versa.
Yes.
I mean,
and I feel like just like if
I don't want to name drop, but I had a name in mind, but I'm not. I don't want.
Let's not name drop.
I think that would be
for the sake of Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show.
Like not nobody in here, not nobody in here, not nobody in here.
Oh, you say because they don't. Okay.
Yeah, say because they don't.
You know, but if they don't,
some men feel like
wouldn't it be a king? Like, you know.
Go ahead, keep it going. Because you.
Wouldn't it be for a king to remind her that she is a queen? Because sometimes, just like men may forget that they are kings. You know, things happen in our life sometimes as women, and I'm gonna speak for women right now, and you, of course, you can speak for men. But as women, sometimes things happen in our life where we lose our confidence, where we fall off our throne because we start subjecting ourselves to doing things that not to say that we shouldn't do, but you know, we just know that it's just not right. You know, we carry ourselves in a way that we shouldn't carry ourselves, or we talk for instance, I curse sometimes, and my daughter said the other day, she said, "Mara, you know you haven't cursed in a long time." And I said, "Yeah, because ladies don't curse. You know, this is not what we should do."
Right.
You know, and I'm just using that, you know, analogy, but you know, just because you might see me on the street and I'd be like, "Yes, girl, that B, that da 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 da," and I'm not carrying myself as a queen. So as my king, because you're all kings. If you see me carrying myself that way, wouldn't it be for you to remind me that I'm a queen, instead of saying, "Oh, she's not a queen, she don't deserve it"?
So I would take it a step further. We were talking about like fairy tales, literature. You know, we went early in the conversation when we were talking about the whole analogies in there.
Yeah.
What story, either in the Bible and popular fiction and literature, what story do we ever consider the king who uses his position to look down on people and to shit on people, when do we ever look at that person as the hero of the story or the person to look up to in the story?
Never.
No. When we think about just kings, we think about people who they don't use their position to put other people down, but to lift them up.
And that's
like you see that in the Bible, you see that in the Quran. Like the kings that are favored by God are the ones who will go down amongst the people and uplift them, not the ones who are just tyrannical in their thinking. So for me, I would take your idea a step further and just say, as a king, why would you ever disrespect someone like that? Like, that's not kingly behavior.
Absolutely. I love that answer. Because that's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's like, I get where guys are coming from, you know, and having had that same position, having taken that same position at a point in my life. Like, I completely understand it. But to be honest with you, that's just coming from a place of hurt. For us. Like, there's no reason to disrespect a woman. There's no reason to just disrespect a woman because she don't do what this woman do. Or because this woman, you know what you like, but then this woman don't necessarily fit that mold. So that means that she's not worthy of your respect.
Right.
You don't have to pursue her. You don't have to have any real interest in her whatsoever.
Right.
But everybody is deserving of a baseline of respect.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. I believe that too. So, you know. Okay, and...
So, Perry, I'm going to disagree with you. I think that every woman deserves a baseline of respect. You know, and that don't mean that I got to run bubble bath water for you and open doors for you or, you know, like take you out on nice dates, but there should be a baseline of respect.
Definitely. So that's important to me because I just feel like we're so quick to just prejudge people also.
Always.
And, you know, if that woman is not, or that man just does not look the part, like, oh, okay, no, she not getting that type of respect because of how she look, how she dress, oh no, he not getting
Y'all
that.
better go back and listen to Kendrick Lamar, how much dollar costs.
How much a dollar costs? Dang, I'm gonna have to listen to that after the show,
yeah,
just so I can understand.
Should tell you what could happen to you. You running around here, you know, not respecting people based off of appearances and shit.
Yes, this is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish our queen that was just in the news feed would have asked the question before we got off of here. My husband calls me.
Yes.
The warden.
Yes. You sit on the Iron Throne, Mama Cookie.
Right, you definitely do.
Warden. That's right, cause what does she run the house.
Right, and Perry,
she keep the house in tip-top shape.
And she supports him. That's her backbone. But you know, Perry, that's what I mean. Like sometimes women stop respecting themselves because they've been disrespected. Sometimes they forget that they should be respected. They lose their self-confidence and their self-worth, and they just start to just do what they feel like should be accepted. You know, I had a conversation with somebody earlier today about the image of the image that love and hip hop is giving our young women and little girls. You know,
we should have a conversation. We should have a show about that.
We definitely should. We should. You know, and it's like, can we be mad at our little girls who are growing up wanting to be like, what is it, Don Diva? Is it? So many of them. But, you know, should we be mad at them for feeling like, oh, well, you know what, I should become a stripper and I should go get butt implants and I should go get, you know, my cheekbones done and be a K. Michelle and get all this work done, you know, so that I can look a certain way? Should we be mad if they think that it's okay to shake their ass on the pole and then become a superstar? And these are the examples that are out here that are set for them. So men like you, Mr. Perry, should be the man to, you know, just uplift her and say, you know what, you don't even have to do all of that. Like, you don't have to do all of that to get my attention. If we see it, not we, but if our young girls see that they can get good attention with just being themselves, then maybe they would learn to respect themselves for who they are as opposed to who they're trying to be, because that's the image that's before them. Can't even see those comments. I see his comments coming.
Well, there's a black Perry Dre says so well, as a black king, if I see one of my brothers fall off, I step in. Other queens don't even help their quote unquote sisters with self-confident issues. So to that, I'm gonna just say this. I'm 33 years old. As a man, when I started truly respecting women, I started respecting myself. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
That's good. That was good. That was good. Okay, okay. So, I mean, yeah.
And my life changed.
And your life changed.
And my life changed.
And your life
For the
changed.
better.
I mean,
For the
you
most
know,
part,
just
for the better.
for the better. Yeah. I mean, because even now, I could just say, just from the time I've known you, I've definitely seen you elevate as a man. And
right, you've known me long enough, right? Yeah. So you met me when I was a little young ignorant ass nigga, right?
Yeah.
I forgot we known each other that
yes.
long. So you see me on my little
I definitely have.
Yeah.
So I would have.
And I don't mean I got it all. I don't have it all figured out, yo. It's still a work in progress. But like you said, like I've seen the growth. Yeah. And I think that honestly, it made me realize. She's seen the growth too. It's made me realize that you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the big takeaways so far of my life is that, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a point where I realized I was very disrespectful when it came to women. Like my outlook, and I don't even know where I got it from because I was raised by women, right? Like I was raised in a house with my mother and aunt, my little sister, my aunt who's watching right now who lived three doors down the street. Like I was pretty much raised like by a bunch of strong black women. So where this like where this hatred and this like just propensity for disrespect came from, I'm not even sure how I got to that point, but I remember when I got out of it. And yeah.
Like, so can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
I can. About your upbringing?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though you were raised by women, did you feel loved by those women?
Yeah, absolutely. All day. Okay. That's why I'm saying it wasn't dysfunctional.
That's
like,
what I mean.
I always,
see a lot of men feel
like my mom.
So yeah, you don't have
watching. I grew up watching. I'm not gonna blame. I don't want to like throw blame, but somewhere I lost my way, and somewhere in there in my like preteen years and whatnot, I kind of just fell into popular culture. What was the love and hip hop of our generation, which would have probably been whatever we were hearing in rap.
Lil Kim, Big
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the love and hip hop of our generation. Like there was something going on in my culture at that time that was leading all of us to kind of like feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Like women.
You know what I think? And this is one of the things, the words. It's one word.
Words are very powerful.
This word is so powerful, and I feel like this word was in our generation, and it deflowered women, like without even, it just, for all women, that word bitch just got thrown around so much in every song, every I want to say gangster, but every hip hop artist.
That could be it.
Everybody just, I mean, even our, the hip hop icons that we look up to, Biggie Smalls. Jay-Z had that song where he was talking about all the different girls all around the world.
It was our song back in the day.
I bet it was
Girls. All
See,
I do adore. Put your number on this paper because I would love to date you.
That's where it came from.
That wasn't a disrespectful song.
It wasn't that it was disrespectful.
At least not in the language.
Exactly.
And the implications of.
Exactly.
Right.
Here we go. I was about to say, like, come on now, let's not act like that was okay. DMX, he had all the girls, and girls, we took that. We thought that it was cute. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be like that. But like the girls in the video. But
it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned use like Jay-Z and DMX and people like, those are the two rappers because like I grew up with them Like literally grew up with them. So like you know what I'm saying, when Jay-Z was on his bitch this, bitch that phase, like that's where I was at. When DMX was like, then you growing up and like Jay-Z goes off and gets married and you like, wait a minute. Exactly. You know, you pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then DMX, and then you start finding out what's going on behind the scenes, and he's got this like strong black woman that has been through with him through the shit. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And then you get older and you start paying attention, and you like, LL Cool J been married forever. Yes. And Snoop Dogg celebrating like 25 years of marriage. Yes, have you ever heard LL Cool J say bitch in a song? And well, maybe not LL, but we know Snoop did at one point. Oh yeah, Snoop did. You know what I'm saying? But then when you find out, like, and then you find out, like, yo, you start to look around, and you're like, yo, these niggas who getting married, you know what I'm saying? And they're not just getting married to be married, but like these men are proud of their wives. Like Ice Cube been married forever. Yes. The whole time that nigga was screaming "fuck the police," he was a married man. Right. So that's when I started paying attention. I was like, wait a minute. Right. Maybe I've been looking at this the wrong way. Right. You know, but that's where the breakdown was for us. It wasn't Love and Hip Hop. And so much in my like the idea that women needed to be respected just for no reason other than they needed to be respected. Yeah. And what I realized is that I started to see an increase in my own level of self-respect. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of self-respect for myself to begin with, but then the changing of my outlook when it came to women, it elevated that even more. Okay. And like, it pretty much has changed. Devalue. Thank you. I see that comment. Yeah. I was trying to, you gotta say deflowered. I was trying to like, that's the word. Devalue. That's it, girl. I can't see when they put a whole paragraph of it because it look all like a blur. But when y'all put the one word. Producer falling asleep? I think she is. Producer. Come on, George, please say sexy. There you go with the paragraph. I can't see that. So Craig's calling me out. He said, "Come on, George Oliver Bunton. You know damn well we have had conversations about this. If a woman don't respect herself, men aren't what? I think men aren't. They aren't gonna respect her. Oh, okay. Well, okay. If we expect, but if a woman don't respect herself, men won't. Well, I'm guessing that's what he's saying. If a woman don't respect herself, men won't. That means a man's not taking his place as a man. So to him, I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, we had these conversations, Perry, and we did come to the conclusion that if girls weren't gonna respect themselves, we weren't. As boys, as men, I have changed my position. Thank you. Let me shake your hand for that. Like, and I think he know that. I think he just I think he like throwing jabs at me in public spaces. Because I'm pretty sure we've had conversations where I've indicated that I no longer think that way. But now I'm just gonna put it on record, on Facebook Live, on Beyonka's Playhouse, that I no longer think in those terms. Thank God. Elevate yourself as a man. Come on. Get there. You gotta elevate yourself to be up on the throne. So if you consider yourself a king, I'm waiting for you, Perry, to join me in the upper echelons up here. Please, come on. Rise to your throne, Perry. Come on, rise to your throne. Yes, come on. Because you are the example. Like, you have to be able to pass that down. I don't know if you have sons, but you got to be able to teach them. Like, you have. Nigga got a starting 5. Oh, shit. A starting 5. Oh, my. Come on now, Bird. Come on. Come on now. Stop it. Stop it. With the 6th man on the way. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. See, and before, not... In our generation, we don't. Oh my God, I was just about to say we had Bill Cosby, yeah, but you know, like the Cosby Show, and we had stuff like that. But the hip hop watered that all the way out, and we no longer were looking at the Huxtables as and looking at a different world. We were looking at that's not true. Jukebox. That's not true. That's not true because there were points where even a different world and all of our shows they were running conjointly with hip hop. They were, but who won? Look at us now. Who won? Well, I don't think hip hop won. I don't think the negative aspects of hip hop won. I believe it did. I
we definitely have to agree to disagree on that one. Because I definitely believe that
the
hip-hop
negativity won out.
Not only did it win in the aspect of how men treated women, or how women treated themselves and how women looked at themselves, how women became okay with thinking that it was all right to shake their ass and on the screen. Right now, you go down your timeline and all the girls is, twerking in the camera. I remember the first time I ever saw a girl shake her butt. I swear, I was like, where is her grandmother? And where is her grandmother? Like,
where is Big
oh my
Mama?
gosh, her grandmother, if she sees this,
rolling in her
she
grave.
is gonna, you know what I mean? So
But
it blew my mind. But now it's like, it's the thing to do. Like, and to me, you didn't see the Huxtables twerking. You didn't see nobody twerking on a different world. Living single, it wasn't happening.
It wasn't a thing back then. But it wasn't a thing back then. But like so like in those days, it was like what was it? Grinding. That was the dance that our parents were so. Like this, a lot of this stuff.
But they were dancing too.
No. Hold on.
They did the little grinding.
Grinding involved. It was as my mother described it. Simulated sex.
Okay.
And our parents hated that shit. That was what they feared so much. Was like we would freak parties.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The kitty discos and all that.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, a lot of things like the object changes, but the nature of what we're dealing with, like our parents hated the way we danced. Their parents hated the way they danced.
Right.
And to me and you, we look back to like our grandparents. The swing was considered devil music. You know what I'm saying? Like that was. The shit they did in Harlem, what was it called? Where they would, all the between the legs and
yes,
up
I know what you mean,
because women at that point were wearing skirts and the skirts would rise up and that type of dance up and all them niggas and Big Mama was like all them niggas down on 25th Street going to hell. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, right.
Like that's what grandmother said then.
Yeah.
And then grandmothers was like, oh, that swing and all that devil music, and they said that. And then our parents was like, you going to hell, all that freak dancing and grinding. And now we sitting here like telling our generation below us like, oh, y'all niggas don't have no home training.
Right.
Working.
It's the truth. Like, what is happening? But yeah, it does get bad.
I don't think that hip hop won. I don't think that there was any like negative aspect that won. I think that because of a lot of people, the majority of people are very, very ignorant of history. And if you start to take an interest in history, one of the things you notice is common themes that always seem to, like a lot of the shit now from the 90s and the 80s is coming back. The kids think it's new and hot, and we just sitting there like, nigga, we did that when we was 3. You know what I'm saying? Like when you really pay attention to history, you start to see these common themes where the objects of certain things, they definitely do change, but people's perception of it as it goes from one time period to the next, you start to realize, okay, this is the same shit. Like there's meaning to that phrase that history repeats itself, and things just kind of come back around in a circle. But the common theme is that everybody, like people always saying the world gonna end.
Yeah.
And what I know because I do have an interest. I'm not like a history buff. I wouldn't call myself a history buff, but I do have an interest in history. There hasn't been a point in history where people didn't think that we were living in the end of days.
Right. No, I
right. So like from the moment Jesus died on the cross, rose 3 days later, left. They have been preaching. People have been saying this is the end of days. Get yourself prepared, and the world just keeps spinning on and on. But like there are people who have swore that this is it. The end is coming. But so there's these common things where you see these behaviors and these thought processes. They really just haven't changed. Right. Just the objects have changed, like what the particulars have changed, but the overall sentiment, it really hasn't.
Right.
So I don't think that hip hop won so much as I think that we're talking about an issue of growth. When we're young, we're stupid. Yeah. And we don't realize the things that we say have deep effects on each other and ourselves. Some of the things that we do have a very deep effect on the people that we do them to, and has an effect on ourselves. And as we get older, we start to understand how all of that shit is connected, and how the things that come out of my mouth can affect you for the next couple of years. And the things that are the decisions that I make today are going to affect you, my child, 20 years from now.
Right.
So we all grow together, and we all kind of come into these realizations, some of us sooner than most. Clearly, I'm coming to mine. Perry is still coming into his. I'm praying for you, brother.
Right.
But that's really what it is that, you know, all of us were young. Snoop was young at one point. Ice Cube, Jay-Z, all of these people were young, and they grew up, and we got to watch them kind of grow through their music and through, you know, like live and on TV. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's gonna be the same thing with this love and hip hop thing. Yeah. It's not nothing like, let's not blow it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Love and hip hop is entertainment. Does it send a negative message? Yes, at times it does. But let's not sit here and like say that it's all negative.
No,
because it's not.
I mean, nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally
like there are some very negative aspects, and there are some things that goes on that show that you probably should make sure that your daughter isn't being exposed to before she's old enough to understand certain concepts and certain things. That's true.
And I think that's anything on television.
But that's the thing. That's like we're trying to, like, everybody keeps pointing to love and hip hop as the reason that relationships ain't working no more. Nigga, relationships wasn't working.
What does that got to do with relationships working?
But that's what a lot of people have been saying. Like the reason the kids are acting the way they do, the reason why people can't get right in relationships is because they're taking all these cues from love and hip hop.
I can see the idolizing and the feeling like okay, I can see a little bit. Okay, because for me, my example, just with our
how many
children.
men do you see a day that she can honestly say that she feels as a king?
How many men do I see a day that I consider as a king?
Yeah.
Every man that I see.
He's trying to pad his argument for why he don't need to respect every man.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, okay, that's not gonna work with me.
No, but I mean, that's a good question.
Man is a king.
Do you really?
Let me tell you something. When I walk, not when I walk, because I'm lying. When I drive, but when I'm driving through the city, right, and I go from the county to the city, and I see men that, while I'm out, when I'm out and I see a man in a suit, and a man that, is that going into Starbucks, and then I get down to the city, and I'm driving down Pennsylvania Avenue, and I see all these men standing out on the corner, just out there in front of legends. You know who you are. It's like, kidding. But when I see these men, though, no matter whether I see a man in a suit or if I see a man standing in front of legends, I feel my feelings change, because I go from being proud to being sad. You know what I mean? Honestly. However, it doesn't change my outlook on whether or not this man is a king or whether he's just a guy. He's still a king to me. He's just a king who has yet to rise to his throne. He's a king who has yet to understand that he is a king. He's a king who has yet to decide to stand up and to me, do something that I personally would feel like he should be doing outside of just standing outside on the corner. But, it doesn't change who he is. It just changes where he is in life. Perry.
Jaleesa said that every black man is a king, just his crown's crooked sometimes.
That's right. You just got, and a woman too. You just got to be able to straighten his cap. And people will tell you, especially those who have, y'all say hi to baby, please. Can you just go ahead there, producer, and take baby onto his throne? Thank you. I will tell you, when I'm on Pennsylvania Avenue or wherever I am, I was just on Liberty Road and saw some guys standing in front of a certain place that they shouldn't have been just standing there doing nothing. And I was like, come on now, kings. Come on now, let's get it together. I don't have a problem with trying to help them to straighten their crown. I don't. Hopefully it don't never have anything bad happen to me. They'd be like, look, B, mind your business. But I can't see that. I see very much. What does it say?
J. Davis, AK, I'm guessing that's you. you might have to start asking, can I talk now? Yes. No.
Ooh, cut it. Stop throwing blows through the,
Did she? No, no.
That's a little blow. It's okay though. It's okay.
She's throwing shade.
This is a little
She's
bit.
being shady.
She she is.
That's alright.
That's
I mean, I
what
pop
she
up and
loves.
say what I gotta say.
That's true.
I just want to say that.
That's true. Let's not call anybody out there because she loves you. Neither.
But that's neither here nor there, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. Okay.
You don't always have to refer to a man as a king to know he's one. Jaleesa says that.
Right, right.
But I'm not
gonna
saying
treat
that you
him any
gotta
different.
walk around and say, "Hey, queen" to every woman. I'm just saying that maybe, you know, it might be a better approach to just have a baseline of respect that, by which we interact with all women. That's all I'm saying.
You ever heard that saying that, like, your smile or the way you look at a person or what you say to a person could change
That whole day.
It
Yeah.
could change everything.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that that can change a person, period. So, you know, if you approach them, which is why I put that question on it, like, is your approach different? Because if you approach a girl who has never felt like she was worth anything, you know, and you approach her and you say to her, I had guys say to me a lot, like, open the door for me, how you doing, queen? Or have a good day, queen. I'm telling you, now I already know I'm a queen because God just blessed me to have that confidence at this moment in my life. However, when a man says that to me, I just be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It boosts my day up. It just really elevates me in that moment, no matter how sad I am or what I'm going through. When that man is like, have a good day, queen, it just does something to you. So, you know, I would just, you know, encourage men to, you know,
Big Brother Jay on something. Call him or her king or queen, and they might act like one.
Okay, preach, please. Amen.
If this mic wasn't so expensive looking, I'd drop it on that one, good brother Jay.
Right.
I would drop the mic on that one.
Right.
That could end the conversation right there.
Absolutely. Should have said that a long time ago. Yes.
Right.
Okay, it's over.
And that's true. Though.
Nothing else needs to be
that's
said.
true. You know, that's true. That's very true.
Right.
And like working in the schools, I see that effect in real time.
Yeah.
Children act like what they're called by their parents.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if you're constantly referring to your son or your daughter in negative terms, that's what they start to act like.
Yes.
Raise your son or your daughter calling them king or queen or prince and princess from day one, and see if you
People
don't
get
get
on me
a
now
different
because I
caliber
still
of
call my
child.
son my Prince Charming. He's 20 years old and he's still my prince. He's yet to become a king yet, even though he's about to be that. But, you know, I just feel like you got to put it inside of them. Because sometimes
But he carries himself as such.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, he carries himself as such. He's very respectful. You know, and like, you know, he doesn't have a problem with manners and showing just mutual respect to people that come around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't act like the typical. He has a look that makes you think that, oh shit, he might be a problem.
Yeah.
But then he presents himself. He presents himself very well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're like, oh, this is, you know. So it's like, you know, like.
Yeah.
He's clearly been raised to know the difference, or at least he can at least code switch when he need to. You know what I mean? Like,
speaking positive.
Yep. Speaking positive affirmations brings positive vibes.
Oh,
by the way, she don't need to ask to talk. I'm reading the comments because she can't see the screen.
I really can't. Like, I can see like one and two,
I know exactly
words.
what she's trying to say.
So, oh, okay, that's because I can't see. I'm sorry, y'all. So,
Michael Jackson looking at.
So, that's your boo. So, I want to say thank you so much, George, for coming.
Thank you.
This has been so good.
It's way past my bedtime, man.
And it's definitely past mine too. So, But this has been so good. I truly enjoyed this talk that we've been having. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it too, because I was just determined to get a little knowledge on what it is that a king looks for in a queen. And this is just one of my many interviews that I'll be doing this month. And George is definitely going to be joining us on stage. So so y'all need to get y'all tickets together, get y'all ticket money ready, because the tickets is definitely about to be out so that you guys can come and join us for a live show. And you know what's awesome about the one venue is that I was thinking, like, they had the booths, so we could do like one-on-one.
I think I heard somebody knocking.
Did we? Is there somebody knocking?
Did somebody just knock on the door? I think somebody just knocked on the door. I heard something go ding.
No. Oh, I was about to say, get out of town.
Hey!
Okay. Girl, you had me. I was about to say.
Oh, she done grew some.
Stop playing with her like that. She got some.
Nah, I'm calling her out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. She be busy. I got you, boo. Don't worry. She be busy. She has like a lot going on. She had the teen and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to give you every excuse in the book. I'm coming, George. Ooh. Oh. Next time you come, Perry. Hey, Perry, you can come too. Gentlemen that are watching, if you
Perry. Actually, she's looking for guys. This is like a whole month-long series where she wants to bring in several guys to get, like, it's not just me, and she wants to get several points of view. So, Perry, this is my girl, Kara King. So you can hit her up. She's in my friends list.
Yep.
Friend her.
Yep.
Set up a time. Come out here and get your own interview, man.
Yes.
Trample on my beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Trying to stun on my growth.
I would love for you to come, Perry. Come on, I welcome you. If you are a gentleman that would love to come and sit here and have this conversation with me for the entire month of June, I'm even making exceptions.
You gonna end up.
Okay. I'm keeping it. Look. I'm even doing shows on different days of the week, so I'm not just doing shows Tuesdays and Saturdays. Right. I'm doing a show on Thursdays. I'm doing shows on different days. So you pick a day. Hey, the seat is gonna be right here waiting for you, baby. I'm waiting for you. I got you. I'm timing up for the days. Like, come on, Perry. Hey, the good brother. You always welcome in my playhouse. So
I think that all the guys, like, cause I know you've had some guys on and I watch, but I think everybody should come and give their perspective to this conversation. Like, as many as she can fit in the month of June.
Yes.
Like, let's really kind of get our points out here.
Yes.
And like they want to know, so like let's let them know.
I'm taking this so far. Like, I'm doing.
I will definitely be watching when the women come up. I get.
Hey, when the women come, I'm. Like, let me stop. I can't wait for the women to come so we can talk about what we looking for in a king. But anyway, I'm going to even put a collab together. So there will be a finale show, not just a live show, but like where you can look back at clips on every man's, little pieces.
Great.
So ladies, we're gonna have a lot to learn from, and just 2 chops to the throat. Is that what that says?
2 chops to the throat.
Yes, I'm telling y'all gotta send little sentences for me, please. And then I got y'all.
Why is your inbox jumping like this?
I was trying to
stop. Get out her inbox and watch the show, nigga.
No.
Damn. Like you want her attention. Support her shit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why are you in the inbox and you clearly see she on live?
Thank you. And the producer back there has been like,
my man.
She's been clicking off of them, and they just keep popping up.
Shelby, I'd love to be a part of the what a queen wants and what a queen wanted a queen. Oh shit, Shelby.
Wait. What a queen?
Oh shit, Shelby. I didn't know.
Shelby.
I didn't even know.
Oh my
queen. Hey, maybe that's August.
Okay, Shelby.
What
Okay.
a queen wants and a queen.
Lord. Oh my gosh, Shelby, you gonna get us put out. Okay, hey, but I'm Beyonka.
I'm pretty sure she did. I'm pretty sure she didn't mean that.
I don't think so either.
I think she meant what? But then, no, let me know.
Wait, is that a smiley face at the end of it?
It is a smiley.
I think she meant it. Okay.
She meant it.
She meant that.
What a queen wants and a queen.
And she put, yeah, she meant that. Dang, I gotta get some glasses.
Yeah, you do.
Cause
like,
I
that's
mean,
big as day.
And that's why it's up there. Like that's why we had this big, huge
Right.
TV.
It's like a whole movie theater. Oh, so, speaking of movie theater, so I got taken on a date last night.
Oh my God, this was supposed to be in the beginning. I forgot to ask you. Okay.
So I wanted to show you because I live tweeted the date.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Do you mean that you like actually were live the entire day?
When I say so, somebody used the term live tweeted.
Okay, help me.
What I was doing was I was posting statuses throughout the day
of
what was going on.
Oh, okay, that's better.
And I was doing it, and I was doing it because I was like, I'm getting taken out on a date, and it was like, she was like, I want to take you out on a date, and she like picked me up and everything, and I was like, I was like, oh shit, I was like, this is what women feel like. So I was like documenting it. And
wow.
I thought it was funny. I mean, people seemed to like it.
Did she open the door for you?
No.
Okay.
That would have been a bit too much.
Okay.
I think I would have felt weird at that point.
That's when it would have went south a little bit. Like, okay, wait.
South.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so where did y'all go? Can I be nosy?
We went to this movie theater like somewhere very far away. But it was funny. Like I was making these posts, and they were supposed to be funny, and most people got it. Some people got really in their feelings about it. But I'm gonna let you read it. Where's my phone?
I gotta read the post because how did they get in their feelings?
Is my phone over there? Yeah, some people got in their feelings about me being on a date and posting while I was on the date.
How did she feel about it?
She knew the whole time. Like the whole time that I was doing it, like me and her were talking, we were vibing and all that. And she knew why I was doing it. So it wasn't really that made it kind of like made our night. Like that's what made it, pretty dope. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. And I'll let you read it, and then you can tell me, you can read it out loud, and then you can tell me what you think about it.
As long as she wasn't mad about it, I don't really see why people were mad.
Some people really took, offense. Like, women came out the woodwork trying to come for my neck. I was like, not everybody. Let me say this. Most people got it and found it incredibly hilarious. Like one of my teachers walked up to me and she's like, I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning and your post made my morning. I laughed the whole time I was getting ready for work. She's like, I was in tears.
Okay.
Because she thought it was just that funny.
Okay.
But then it was like really weird. Like people get really weird now about like I'm living my life. Like why the fuck are you on my shit with these negative comments about what I'm doing in my life? Like what? It kind of.
That's what I mean. Like
it threw me for a loop. There were some people who clearly had issue, and I was like, "Who are you? And why are you making? Why are you bringing this negativity to my shit?"
Right.
But you tell me. Like, and mind you, this is not me ignoring this girl while we're on a date. Like we're in the car, we're jamming the music, we're talking, all that stuff, and I'm just posting as it's going on. So I'm gonna let you.
But she never had an issue with it.
No, you'll see from the post. I post about that. So it starts here and then just scroll up.
She has to take me on a date. The plot thickens. Oh, okay. Already I'm okay now. Okay.
No, I know. You gotta go up. Yeah.
This way. Okay. She said be ready at 8:15. She was at my place at 8:15. I wasn't ready. Oh my. I think this might turn into a teachable moment. Oh, okay, because men always.
I'm never on time for a date. I always be like, yo, be ready at 7:30. I get there like 7:45. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay,
but women are never ready when you get there.
Well, maybe that's why I always show up late. But I just thought it was funny because she was like, I'm going to be there at 8:15. I wasn't expecting her to be there at 8:15. She was there at 8:15 on the dot. And I was like, shit, I'm not ready. It's like, damn. Go ahead, you can read it. That's the one that got the most likes. Somebody texted me the other day. She was like, when you caressed your bed, I knew she had you.
right. Let me go through my mental journey. Okay. You know what? Go ahead. Let me just go through my. But did she really do this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
I know.
Like some girl
I feel like you might have been exaggerating.
Some girl came on my shit and suggested that I was trolling, that I wasn't even really on a date.
So when she picked you up, did you get in the car and then she caressed you?
No, we were driving.
They
were like, this thing.
Oh, that's so cute.
It was like what?
That's so cute. Okay, wait. Okay, are you gonna tell it like the story? Because I was reading it like the story.
Just read it?
Yeah, read it like I was reading it like it was.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna read it as if like
that theatricalness.
Right. Okay. Here we go. She asked to take me on a date. Flight tickets. That's new. She said be ready at 8:15. She was at my place at 8:15. I was not ready. I think this might turn into one of those teachable moments.
I was reading it like that. Bye-bye.
She just caressed my baby bed as she said, "It's nice to see you." Yep. I'm taking notes. Because when a woman takes you out on a date, you realize that you have the opportunity here to really. If a woman is taking you out on a date, she's about to show you what women really want on a date. I'll be paying attention. I don't know about the rest of these niggas. So I'm in the car, mine in 90s R&B, and she's just driving. I can't remember the last time I've been in the passenger seat. It's really nice. It's really nice. Mariah Carey's Fantasy comes on the 90s R&B playlist we rocking. She's really into it. Her driving speed has increased considerably. So, and that really happened. And I was really just sitting back observing that shit. It was some slow songs coming on and shit. And then Mariah Carey's Fantasy came on. And all of a sudden her hands wasn't on the wheel no more. She was driving about 20 miles faster than she was. We've been on the road for a minute now. She's driving I was like, damn, this is really weird. She was rocking. I was like, all right. So Pony plays immediately after Fantasy. She keeps touching her chest and her speed has increased considerably. What is happening? I'm digging it. Just read the post later. Just read the post.
No, keep going.
The post later.
Come on.
Oh, this one was fun. This actually happened. I start singing along with Pony. I get a look. You was mad, Genuine. Yeah. That's the name of the song. I ain't put all the hashtag. So she skips several songs in the playlist, plays Aaliyah's Back and Forth. Now her hands are no longer on the wheel. I'm disturbed, but I'm intrigued. She's really funny? Feeling it.
You know what's funny? Is that I think all women do that. Their drive actually goes with how the people feel. Go ahead.
We've been on 95 for some time. I'm nervous. Lady, should I text my homies her name just in case?
Right.
Bossy.
Producer.
Bossy, you sound like one of my off-brands.
That's how I was feeling though. Hey, not off-brand.
Hey,
not off-brand though. Go ahead, so keep reading.
She just skipped Freak Me Baby. Who does that? I'm gonna text my homies her name and pick now. Go ahead.
Nothing, keep going, keep going.
She keeps jamming. We talk. The producer's having some technical difficulties. You alright?
You good? Stay. You gotta press it.
Press what?
When is the time? Alright, hold on, I'm sorry y'all. I had to get that together. Yes, but
this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let y'all come through. Y'all know my name now. Send me a friend request and you can see it. Maybe I'll make them public. I mean, I should make them public.
Those posts?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Just make them public.
You should.
That way people can see it.
And
But,
that
or you can send me,
you can
if you
still
cool,
send him a friend
if you
request.
cool, you can just send me a friend request.
Yeah.
Don't come on my page with no weird shit though, please.
And listen, I think people should just like let people do them. Cause I was reading it right, and so I'm nosy. So I was reading it to myself like, hey, like, okay, this really happened. Like, this is cool. Like, this is a book. I was feeling like the same thing too. Like, he gonna have to tell it theatrically, because that's how I was reading it. But I think it's nice when a lady takes, like, changes the roles and she says, okay, like, I'm gonna do this too. So I think that was hot. That's something that you enjoyed. I can tell.
I did. I mean, I enjoy being silly, genuinely. Life is way too serious.
It
It's
is.
too short. And I intend to laugh as much as possible. So
You
I'm gonna do all
got
types of
to.
silly ass shit.
You
And
got
I
to.
don't even care. Like, I'm just gonna do silly shit because that's what I like to do.
You
So,
got to. You got to. So I think it's safe to say that one of the things that he don't like in a queen is for a queen to just be uptight. It just be like,
nah. I don't like that.
yeah. Yeah, because like you said, life is definitely too short. You know, you got to be able to be free. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I truly appreciate you tuning in to this episode of Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show, the What a King Looks For in His Queen with Mr. George Oliver. So, yes, go ahead and take a bow, because you did a phenomenal job. Go ahead, take a bow. Take a bow. You did good. I don't know how that next one going to do. I don't know what's the next one.
My man Perry? Oh, trust me, it's going to be entertaining.
Perry.
It's going to be entertaining.
I'm going to have to go ahead and take my claws out for you, because I already feel like you're going to come here with some stuff.
And as always, black by popular demand.
Black popular demand. I love that
Keep
shirt.
it black, y'all.
Yeah, so if you want to see Mr. George in person and ask him some questions in person, make sure you guys get them tickets to the show. It's going to definitely be July the 7th, so I'll let you know. I'll put all the information in the comments later on once we actually secure it and lock it down.
Or
Or
you can hit my inbox.
you can hit his inbox.
Because I'm single.
Cause no. Okay, so anyway, I'll
What?
definitely.
What'd you say?
Due to
we had-
technical
we had-
difficulties.
Ah!
Rewind if you missed a portion of this show. I definitely know that there is a queen that is
And I
definitely
told
out
and
there.
I said it that there will be no sucker shit from this.
Oh, I
this
forgot.
interview.
Yeah, he did. Oh,
So
he did.
feel free to come in that box, because I'm not waiting around.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's not waiting around. He's not even gonna have to wait that long. Like, keep calm, it's happening, okay? And you know it. Oh, he said, and you know it. I already know, Barry. But make sure you guys, make sure you guys, if you are interested,
I
gentlemen.
swear, my friends.
If you're interested, gentlemen, you can definitely inbox me and we can get you on the show. Ladies, if you're interested in doing next month what a woman looks for in a woman looks for in a king, inbox me. I'll bring you on that show. Share this live. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about Beyonka's Playhouse Talk Show. And George and I will see you guys soon. Have an awesome night. Good night, love.